Thank you, Russ. Well, it was dramatic on Saturday, and it promises to be even better here this evening. The Hawthorns, a perfect setting for such an important game, and what a riot of colour we have in front of us. The stand on the far side illuminated by evening sunshine, the Villa fans decked out in claret and blue away to our right, and elsewhere every single West Bromwich Albion fan is waving a blue and white plastic flag. It's created a wonderful view all the way around this stadium, and now both sets of players need to deliver. Aston Villa have arrived here with a single goal lead, but they know any slip-up, the sort of slip-up which occurred in the game at Villa Park on Saturday, and West Brom will be right back into this game, and you just get the feeling, Matt Murray, West Brom approaching this rather like a wounded animal after all their body blows at the end of the first leg.
Yeah, look, West Brom had Dawson limped off, the sending off of Gale, but what you do feel for West Brom is they don't have to score straight away. So as much as they want to get caught up in it, and they know an early goal will be brilliant, they've got to be careful with the quality that Aston Villa have on the attack, and they know that they tried to stop that space in the first leg because of people like Abraham running behind, the energy of McGinn. He makes brilliant runs from midfield, but you've got to be on, concentrate when you individual battles, some set plays and that. But yeah, I expect this West Brom team, it's all or nothing. They've got to go out there, no regrets, give it everything, but they'll come out with a real game plan. But I still don't think they'll go charging straight to Aston Villa. I think they'll contain them for a little bit, but sooner or later if they don't get that goal, they're going to have to come out.
Jimmy Sham, the interim manager for West Bromwich Albion, standing there, arms in tracksuit bottom pockets, trying to look calm with around 15 photographers all around him. He didn't really sign up for this at the start of the season, did he?
He didn't, but you know what it's all about. He's a local guy, he's been at this club a long time. They're playing the liquidator now that, really gets the crowd, the fans going. But look, Jimmy Sham will be there. He'll love it. He'll love it. When you do take over, we did it at Barnsley for a little bit last year with Paul Harsley, myself, and it's an amazing feeling doing under-23s football, academy football, and suddenly doing it first team level. He's had a right run, he's taken a claim now, but it's a real buzz, and you love it as a player, as a manager. Your work's done now. Can your team go and do it? Can you still have an impact from the bench? But Jimmy Sham has been learning on the job, and I think he's done a really, really good job.
Well, Dean Smith, the Aston Villa manager, lost out as a player in the playoffs with Walsall, Hereford and Orient, but he can take his hometown team to Wembley here this evening. It is Aston Villa who will get the game underway in their claret shirts, sky blue shorts and sky blue socks. West Brom in their home strip, blue and white stripes, white shorts and white socks. The winners go to Wembley. The losers suffer crushing disappointment. It is very much black and white here at the Hawthorns this evening. The second leg of the Championship playoffs, only here on Talk Sport. We're at Ellen Road tomorrow night for Leeds United against Derby County. Here, it's a West Midlands derby as El Ghazi comes forward for Villa inside the opening 30 seconds down the left. He's closed down by Hegazi, and then the challenge comes in from Holgate on this near side, and Villa win a corner inside the opening 35 seconds.
Yeah, crunching challenge there from Holgate. I thought El Ghazi was just going to get his head down and just run at Hegazi there, because I thought that's where he'd like him. A centre-half out there, but it all came on from a flick on from Abraham. But corner already for Aston Villa. West Brom need to stick to their job, but wow, listen to his atmosphere, listen to it really is a cauldron of noise.
And it's worked short by Horahan. Here is Grealish. Boos for him after what happened on Saturday. McGinn does well to win it back. Horahan now delivers in an early ball, but it was Murphy who came back to make the challenge, and it's a throw into Villa on this near side. And Guy Clark, our producer, has just pointed out Dwight Gale and Hal Robson-Kanu are sat just to our left, just behind you there, Matt, so we'll get a very good view of their emotions the longer the night goes on.
How nervy will they be? But what was interesting there, West Brom sent two out for that short corner. They didn't do that at all at Villa Park. Remember, they got played round. They sent one out for a short corner, but there they sent two out to stop it. But they'll be very, very nervous, those guys there.
And El Ghazi has been penalised in a playoff semi-final for a foul throw.
So frustrating.
Under 9 stuff. 2 minutes played at the Hawthorns, 0-0. Of course, Aston Villa leading 2-1 from the first leg at Villa Park on Saturday. And they've made the brighter start here. Dawson, who was a doubt for this game, plays it back towards Sam Johnston, who was the Villa goalkeeper in the playoff semi-final against Fulham last season, before moving on from Manchester United to the Hawthorns. Boos for Grealish once again. Sliding in was Johansson, who was part of the Fulham side which beat Villa last season. Now Matt Phillips, who looked sluggish at times on Saturday, but he's been caught there, and it's a free kick to Albion inside the opening 2 minutes here on TalkSport, the home of the EFL playoffs, and it's 0-0, but it's been a typically frenetic start.
It has, and Grealish going to the ground there. He's the one who's usually getting fouled, but he got fouled, and he's going to be in for a night of booze. But he's seen that he loves that. He thrives on that. But yeah, it started a real tempo.
He's had worse this season in Midland Stars.
Well, he certainly has, yeah. And how did he react to that? But what's interesting is both teams are pressing the other when they're in possession.
Holgate coming forward now for Albion. Down this near side, they're right. The low cross is blocked by Taylor, and Albion have a throw in. The two sides once again. Albion, Johnston, Dawson, Hagazi, and Bartley the back three. Holgate, Brunt, Johansson and Gibbs, Phillips, Rodriguez and Murphy, as Holgate wipes the ball with a towel on this near side, and will wind up for a long throw for Albion. 3 minutes played inside a cacophony of noise here at the Hawthorns. Dawson makes the run towards the near post. It's thrown beyond him, and Phillips will challenge. Nodded away by Mings. It comes to Murphy. Left foot shot from him into the crowd is blocked, but it's quickly picked up by Gibbs once again. Back towards Hagazi. Now Hagazi launches it wide towards the left-hand side. It's nodded back in field. Twanzebe with the defensive header clear. And now Andre Green is fouled, a very cheap foul given up by Gibbs, and it will be a free kick to Villa. The Villa team again, steering goal. El Mohammadi, Twanzebe, Mings and Taylor. Hourihane in midfield. Green, McGinn, Grealish and El Ghazi ahead of him, with Abraham in attack. 4 minutes played at the Hawthorns. 0-0, so Aston Villa still leading by 2-1. 2,000 Villa fans all on their feet in the stand away to our right-hand side.
As you say, it was a soft free kick there from Gibbs. They had Villa penned in, and that's what I was saying. West Brom are pressing a lot more though now. I thought at Villa Park they just retreated into shape and went into a 5-4-1. Here they're pressing, locking on higher. What's interesting there, Holgate's doing a long throw. It was Dwight Gale, wasn't it, who got his first yellow card for time wasting with that. But West Brom again are going to employ that long throw tactic.
Chris Kavanagh, the referee, coming down from the Premier League, and interestingly he was in charge of Fulham against Derby in the second leg of the playoff semi-finals last season, when Fulham came from a goal down to win and make progress to Wembley. Albion may hope that's an omen. Holgate quickly plays it forward to Phillips on this near side, and he's been caught by Taylor coming in from behind, and both sets of players need to calm down.
They do, and we said about it with the noise and everything else, don't give the referee decisions to make. I thought Graham Scott tried to keep his cards in his pocket as long as he could in the first leg. A few challenges were allowed to go. Holgate got away with a few. In the end it did cost Dwight Gale, but yeah, Taylor's got to be careful, because you do not want to be walking such a fine line so early on in the game with an early yellow card.
Brunt is over the free kick, clipped in towards this near side, headed on by Dawson across the penalty area. Phillips was the target, and it's hacked away by Green. Big night for the youngster, wide on the far side. Now Abraham back towards El Mohammadi, and Green will challenge again, and it's out of play on the far side, and it will be a throw-in to Aston Villa. And it's a big call to give Andre Green a game like this.
It is. He's come on more as an impact sort of substitute since he's returned from his loan spell at Portsmouth. Did well for them. I saw him for Villa against Norwich last season, score some brilliant goals at Villa Park, cutting in from the left onto his right foot, an academy graduate. But yeah, it's a big call from Dean Smith, and I think he's made a big decision in bringing Hourihane in as well.
Well, that was the obvious call after what happened in the second half on Saturday. El Ghazi now chasing towards this near side down the Villa left. Scored twice at the Hawthorns in a 2-2 draw back in December, when the hand of Rod equalised for Albion right at the end, and Jack Grealish also picked up that injury which kept him out for 3 months. Grealish now on this near side, losing out to Phillips. Quickly swept forward towards Rodriguez, who turns and plays it back towards Phillips down the right. Wasn't the best option. Mings will clear. Hourihane now steps in. He believes he was body checked by Johansson, but the referee says he got the ball, ball, but it was swept forward by Holgate wide to the far side, looking for Murphy, and Villa will clear the ball away again. And the very impressive Tuanzebe with the bright red boots plays it in field towards Grealish inside the centre circle. Hourihane wide to this near side, and Taylor once again as we sit high above the halfway line here at the Hawthorns on the television gantry. A perfect view on a perfect evening, warm early summer, and the sunlight still illuminating the stand on the far side. Now Abraham coming forward now on the far side, but he's challenged by Brunt and he's given the ball away, and Rodriguez will chase forward now for West Bromwich Albion. Very much their focal point in the absence of both Gale and Robson-Kanu, who are sat just down the television gantry from us. And there's a shove there by Grealish on Johansson as he plays it back towards Johnston, and West Bromwich Albion characteristically playing the ball out from the back.
Yeah, trying to build from the back. I thought at Villa Park they went a bit more direct. Villa before that had a good passage of play, but when West Brom did win it back, Rodriguez was quite isolated. Tuanzebe went in tight all the way, but you could hear those boos again from those West Brom fans trying to make it as intimidating as possible for Aston Villa. But there will be spells when Aston Villa dominate the ball. But great credit to the West Brom medical staff as well. Johansson and Dawson back out in the field tonight.
And Johansson with an excellent ball wide to the left-hand side, and Gibbs, he's got Brunt on the overlap, but Gibbs delivers the cross, arriving as Holgate at the far post, appeals for handball as it was controlled by El Ghazi, and I think they were very optimistic appeals, and the Dutchman clears away down this near side, and it will be a throw-in for West Bromwich Albion, and Holgate will be looking to go long again with 8 minutes played on TalkSport, and it's still goalless.
Yeah, I think it was an optimistic shout like you say, but he's done the throw short this time.
Short towards the Norwegian Johansson, back towards Holgate again. Here is Brunt now coming in field, left foot shot from him, tried to cut across the face of the ball and fade it towards that far corner, and way too high.
Yeah, way too high, but Chris Brunt, he'll be desperate. He loves West Brom, he's been a brilliant servant to them. He'll be desperate to get them back to the Premier League. That's what he's about. Not many players you'd say shoot from there, but you know he's got it in the locker if he does catch it right. And El Ghazi, he scored an unbelievable goal, didn't he, for Aston Villa from a similar sort of range in the game earlier this season. But listen to the atmosphere, and they're really getting on to Jed Steer now about his goal kick and everything.
They're encouraging him to stop the game management. It's headed away by Bartley, and it's gathered now in the centre circle by Murphy, who needs a good game here because he's been rather in and out, both literally and figuratively, for West Bromwich Albion since making that move on loan from Newcastle. A long ball is played forward by Villa, and it will be gathered by Johnston, who clears long downfield once again and straight out of play. You're listening to West Bromwich Albion versus Aston Villa on TalkSport, with McDonald's Fun Football providing over 5 million hours of fun grassroots football to the UK by 2022. Just under 10 minutes played. We'll be at Ellen Road tomorrow night for the second leg of Leeds against Derby, with Leeds leading by a goal to nil. Then it's League One action on Thursday and Friday night over on TalkSport 2. Pompey against Sunderland, with Sunderland 1 up from the first leg on Thursday night. Charlton leading Doncaster 2-1, heading to the Valley on Friday. And of course, it is the FA Cup final coming up on Saturday. Now a long ball played forward for Albion, looking for Phillips, but it's gathered by Steer. And we have a terrific Sunday across the TalkSport network coming up this weekend. On TalkSport 2, it is Rugby Union's Finals Day. That's coming up on Saturday, on the final day of the Gallagher Premiership, and on Sunday on TalkSport 2 it is non-league finals day, both the FA Vase and the FA Trophy. Commentary on both of those games. 10.5 minutes played here. It is 0-0 as a ball boy comes onto the field to scoop it up, to give it back to El Mohammadi, and Villa here are trying to slow things down right from the very start, and already Michael Appleton is having a word with the fourth official.
And the fourth official was probably saying, well, what happened at Villa Park when you were 1-0 up for ages? You did exactly the same. So
yeah, but that was different.
That's what I mean.
That's what he'll be saying.
Exactly. Yeah. When you're the team that's holding the lead, you do it, and the other way around, it's very frustrating, but we all go there and do it, so you can't really moan, and that's up to the referee to sort of manage it, if you like. But Villa will try and slow this game down as much as they want.
Lee Mason, the fourth official here this evening, so we have Premier League officials for two sides hoping to be in the Premier League next season. As a long ball is played forward down the Villa right, Abraham will chase, but Kyle Bartley gets there first, hoofs it out of play, and it will be A throw-in for Aston Villa with 11 and a half minutes played on TalkSport, the home of the EFL playoffs. 0-0 on the night. Villa still leading 2-1 on aggregate, and we must have a winner here this evening. McGinn losing out from the throw-in. It's gathered by Horahan. Grealish is clattered by Murphy, but the referee is happy for play to continue. And now the early cross played high towards the far post. El Ghazi was shaping for the header, but Holgate got there first, and it's behind for a corner to Villa once again. Yeah, good defending from Holgate. The ball whipped in, and I thought that Aston Villa put a lot of crosses in against West Brom, but what West Brom did, especially El Ghazi and Dawson, they got first contacts on them, and that's good for defending there, because El Ghazi is a big player. He's a big player trying to get over Holgate, but again it's going to be a ball delivered in, and they've got to stick with them and West Brom. Grealish will take the corner, an in-swinger towards the 6-yard area, and there's a double deflection there as two West Brom players go for the same ball. It's eventually cleared. McGinn tries to charge forward, but now Albion do clear the second ball. Rodriguez looking to break, but it was Tammy Abraham coming back to make the challenge, and El Mohammadi, who won promotion at this level with Hull City and Steve Bruce back in 2016, finds his goalkeeper Jed Steer, who clears it long downfield. A rather tentative ball forward by Dawson. It's quickly gathered by Neil Taylor, who also got promotion from this level via this route with Swansea. Now McGinn. A high ball clipped over the top towards the left. El Ghazi is the target, but it's beyond him. One bounce straight out of play.
Yeah, it's good. You can see what McGinn's trying to do, and he has been excellent for Aston Villa. We're talking about certain players in his team. McGinn, again, I think he's one who's Premier League quality, in my opinion. I think he's a very, very good player, but just overhit that ball there. But we're asking the build-up, would Aston Villa be nervous with this environment? There's so many players here who've either played in the Premier League, played for their countries, been promoted, as you say, out of the division. They'll be fine, they'll deal with it, and I think they've made a good start, forced a couple of corners already. There's a real tempo and great atmosphere.
16 of the last 18 first leg winners in the Championship playoffs have gone through to the final. There have been 8 turnarounds in total, including that win for Fulham against Derby last season. Mings now by the corner flag on this near side. The Villa left, finding Taylor under pressure, but they do well, Mings and Taylor, to work their way out of trouble, and Mings plays a good ball in field to pick out McGinn, and now McGinn finds the on-rushing El Mohammadi to the right-hand side. Green holding the width. He can now deliver the early cross in, looking for Abraham, but it's blocked by Gibbs. Back towards El Mohammadi once again. Here is Horahan, 25 yards out, square towards McGinn on that left foot, but he goes further square towards the left-hand side, and Taylor and Villa here dominating possession. McGinn muscles his way beyond Johansson into the penalty area, wide to the left, and El Ghazi with the cross is way over hit, but it will be recovered at the far post by El Mohammadi. It's a deeper cross, and Abraham was challenging for the header. He and Dawson collide, and it strikes Dawson on the shoulder and goes behind for a corner.
Yeah, good play from Aston Villa, good patient build-up. They switched to play a few times. Sometimes you call this style of play filling the 5 lanes, so they've always got someone in the if you divided the pitch into 5 lanes, someone there offering the width, offering bodies in the middle as well. Good play, good balls in, but again well defended. Abraham got ahead on it, came off Dawson, but yet another corner that West Brom have got to defend.
And Grealish will take it once again, and the West Brom fans not quite giving him a lap of appreciation. Grealish with the delivery, and it was Abraham, in fact Mings arriving with the header, and in the end the referee is going towards Mings and he's booked him for handball.
Yeah, he got the run on his man there, and I think there he's not complaining. The referee's in a good position, and he got a run on him. I thought he'd just maybe come off his head or his shoulder, but Mings must have led with his hand to try and punch that ball into the net. End of the day, we talked about the, what do you call it, the hand of Rod?
Yes.
Yeah, that West Brom got away with. Well, Mings has tried it there. He's been penalised, and now he's got a yellow card, and he's going to have to be very careful now, because it could just be a mistimed challenge or anything like that, and suddenly Aston Villa could be down to 10 men. But well spotted there from the referee, and the fact there was no argument from Mings shows me that he did do it.
Well, it's been that goal at that end, the Birmingham Road end, has been the handball end, because there was the Rodriguez goal. He tried that again against Sheffield United and got booked, having put the ball into the net, and Mings trying something similar there. Mings now takes the free kick. He's got 74 minutes at least to manage that yellow card. And his long ball forward was cushioned back by Higazi towards Sam Johnston, the West Bromwich Albion goalkeeper. These two sides finishing 4th and 5th in the Championship table, and the side finishing fourth has reached the final in 4 of the last 5 seasons. And the side in Villa's slot, fifth, has only been promoted 3 times in 15 years. As Phillips loses out to Mings, and Grealish strokes it wide to the far side. El Mohammadi takes over. Here is Mings again as the temperature just begins to drop slightly as the shadows lengthen, as Horahan picks out Grealish once again with those socks rolled down around his ankles into the feet of El Ghazi, and then back to Grealish. Grealish was cleaned out by Bartley, and it will be a free kick to Villa, 15 yards inside the Albion half.
Yeah, he just wins so many fouls, Grealish. He just draws the challenges in. He's safe with his socks rolled down, but he doesn't get any kicks on those big cars of his, but a definite foul there. But West Brom at the moment dropping back into their shape again, and Villa certainly having more of the possession.
And their potential attack comes to an end because Gibbs slides in on Green and clears away, but Villa look to build again. Mings finding Tuanzebe, who strides away from Rodriguez just for a second, and then it goes all the way back via El Mohammadi towards Jed Steer, the 4th different goalkeeper used by Aston Villa in the Championship this season. Horahan's almost given the ball away. He's certainly played Tuanzebe into pressure. It was Johansson who swooped on him, and in the end Steer will just clear the ball downfield. 18 minutes played on TalkSport, the home of the EFL playoffs. Goalless here, so Villa still leading by 2-1. The winners here will meet either Leeds or Derby in the final at Wembley on the bank holiday Monday. Villa looking to win another tie as the lower ranked side after both Newport and Tranmere managed that in League 2 over the last couple of nights, as El Ghazi just clips the ankles of Holgate, and it will be a free kick for West Brom just in front of us.
Yeah, definite foul again. Not much in it, but it's really interesting. I wonder if West Brom look at this game now thinking, right, when we go and press Aston Villa, we do get the ball back. Why didn't we do that at Villa Park? Did they show them too much respect, just dropping into the 5-4-1, letting Villa build from the back at will? And because every time they do press Villa, they look like they could set traps, which they did do at Villa Park and caught them once. But Villa aren't, find it difficult to play out from the back when West Brom get after them and even go and press Jed Steer in goal.
Now Brunt coming forward on the left hand side, further forward towards Murphy on the corner of the penalty area. He spins in field, but Tuanzebe, brilliant defending, just levers him off the ball and quickly plays it forward to El Ghazi. High stepping from him, and it goes down under the challenge of Dawson, but Chris Kavanagh tells him to get up. Now a long ball played forward for Albion, wide to the far side. El Mohammadi will try and clear, but Brunt has won it back from him, and in the end, as the two players collide by the corner flag, it spins away off Brunt, and it will be a throw-in. And now Dean Smith and Michael Appleton are both in the ear of Lee Mason, but it ends in smiles. But it's all very intimate and confined down there, the technical areas very close together at the Hawthorns. Yeah. And Lee Mason getting it from both sides.
Yeah, they're just chatting to him, and they're probably having discussions and trying to influence things how they can. But I think that was the dive from El Ghazi, and I think that Kavanagh was very lenient there, because I don't care if it's in the box or not. If it's a dive, it's a dive. You can get a yellow card for that. But again, he's trying to make the decision to keep his cards in his pocket as much as possible. But I thought that was a dive.
And we have a Premier League referee here, and you would imagine they're of a higher standard of officiating that you would find in the EFL, and maybe some of the players here tonight aren't getting away with the liberties that were maybe taking the league game.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. And I think, but I thought Graham Scott, people saying it was harsh on Dwight Gale, but I can see why he did
get booked for time wasting. You run the risk.
You run the risk, and I can see why he did get the second yellow. But I thought all in all, Graham Scott got the big decisions right, the penalty in that, and so far Kavanagh, but both of them have definitely made the decision to try and keep their cards in the pockets if they can.
Now Taylor coming forward for Aston Villa, clipped high towards the far post, but some way beyond Abraham and straight out of play. Neil Taylor's not scored for nearly 3 years and didn't look confident enough to fire the shot off there.
Yeah, because at first you're thinking he's opening up, hit a shot, but then you know your players, don't you? And he doesn't score many. But then I thought he'll be disappointed there with his end product. He's got into a good area. He looked like he was trying to dink one over Tammy Abraham, but I think one into feet would have probably been the better option. Whatever he chose anyway, it was wrong. And now Sam Johnson again is going to launch the ball downfield. Definitely under Darren Moore, they would have tried to play out from the back.
21 minutes played, 0-0. Dwight Gale sat just to our left, and you do wonder if Albion will miss him the longer the evening goes on. They won only 4 of the 12 games he missed during the regular season. Now Tuanzebe, back towards Mings. Mings can now open out his body and play it forward left-footed on this near side. El Ghazi halts his run and then sprints off again as Mings tries to pick him out, but it's beyond El Ghazi, not for the first time, and behind for a goal kick away to our left.
Yeah, it's a difficult one that for centre-halves. They get sort of ushered, if you like, shown one way and then shown down an alley, and there's no real pass for him. He tried to dink it over a little bit of check, but once he took the touch, and it was good pressing from West Brom, and that's why he's ended up forcing the ball out of play. But when West Brom were under Darren Moore, they'd be trying to build from the back, fish little balls in the midfield. They got set up and pressed on and conceded a lot of goals that way. But every goal kick so far, Sam Johnson has hit 20 yards into the Aston Villa half.
22 minutes played, 0-0. Tom Ross will be getting all the post-match reaction for us at the end of this game, and you can also hear his thoughts even on the match in the Sports Breakfast with Alan Brazil tomorrow morning, as a long ball is played forward looking for El Ghazi, but Holgate defends well, but now needs some help as he tries to knock the ball down the line on this near side, the right, but El Ghazi helps him out by knocking it out of play for a goal kick.
Yeah, this is going to be one of the key battles. It is, with Holgate and El Ghazi, because El Ghazi will look to get at him, put balls into the box, whip crosses in, but so far, whether it's defending the back post, Holgate's done well, whether it's stopping crosses into the box, then he's done really, really well, because I felt too many balls were allowed into the West Brom box on Saturday, but definitely Holgate's made up his mind. He's going to get tight to him, and he's winning the battle so far.
Phillips on this near side just loses out to Taylor. Mings plays it forward, and Taylor will try and overlap down the left now for Villa, quickly into the path of Abraham, who has 26 goals so far this season. Grealish wide towards the right hand side, and McGinn back in field towards Green on the edge of the penalty area, and he tries to pick out the run of El Mohammadi, but the ball just spins away off Ghazi, and Albion will be able to clear on the far side. Brunt brings it forward. Rodriguez loses out to McGinn, and McGinn also scampers away from the challenge of Rodriguez, and he's got two options down the right hand side, El Mohammadi and Green. It's back towards McGinn, the cross delivered in looking for Abraham, but he loses out to Bartley. And now Brunt has time to turn for West Brom, midway inside their own half, and it's back again towards Johansson, but the long ball forward from him is overhit and straight out of play. And TalkSport supports the work of Prostate Cancer UK. Visit prostatecanceruk.org/football to find out how you can help, and together we can stop prostate cancer killing a man every 45 minutes.
Yeah, what do you think of the game so far? I think Dean Smith will probably be the happier of the two managers. He's forced a couple of corners, had a lot of the ball, and maybe taken the sting a little bit out of the game. These West Brom fans are still getting right behind him, and they'll be happy with their team pressing. McGinn's been excellent for Villa, he really has, and so's Tuanzebe. But now West Brom just having to sit in and having a little rest because they've been pressing so high, and Villa have been knocking it about.
Well, Villa kept a clean sheet in a 0-0 draw last season in the second leg to go through, as Andre Green comes forward down the right hand side now, beyond Gibbs and Hegazi, back towards Horahan. We know he can hit them, and he does left footed, but it was quickly blocked by Brunt, and now Rodriguez does well to hold the ball up, and it was Mings who makes the challenge, and Mings I think was going to have a word with the referee, then realised he was on a yellow card.
Yeah, he was, but it's good play from Rodriguez, because he was all on his own against two very strong athletic centre-halves, but he didn't only hold the ball up, he then won the foul, which allowed his team to get up the pitch, because Aston Villa having a bit of a spell. They haven't really tested Sam Johnson, but they're knocking the ball about, and now they can, maybe work a free kick up and get onto the second ball with the likes of Dawson and that coming up. But I just feel that for Aston Villa, they'd love to get that goal. They're getting into the areas, but say that will be the only bit that Dean Smith will be disappointed in. They haven't tested Sam Johnson yet.
Albion have won all 5 games under Jimmy Shan, and they have to win this game in 90 minutes to have any hope. And the flag's up for offside as the free kick from Hegazi comes to nothing, and the small details at the moment are not being admired by West Brom.
Yeah, that'll be really frustrating. I'm just saying there that Aston Villa have had a spell. Rodriguez does really, really well to hold the ball up, win a free kick. Now you know how dangerous West Brom can be from second halves, and when you've got all that time to set up, you can look along the line to be offside. Good defending from Aston Villa, but as far as West Brom are concerned, very, very poor. And so many defenders do that. The ball doesn't go out of the box, and they're going to change that rule. Free kick, ball has to leave the box, but when they know they're going to be pressed, the defenders just take a touch, so the kick has to be taken again.
And Steer will go longer this time, and that rule change will come in for next season, and not before time. Aston looks to find Abraham, who flicks on for El Ghazi, who was onside, but Holgate has played him well so far, and finds his goalkeeper Sam Johnston, who clears long downfield, and Rodriguez does well to turn his body and find Murphy. It's down the centre looking for Phillips, and the clearance from Mings strikes Rodriguez. Could have gone anywhere on the edge of the penalty area, and it spins away to the far side, where Mings will just shepherd it out because he knew that Villa were going to have the throw-in.
Rodriguez brilliant again. He just used his body, as you say, just to shield it, and the ball ran through. I thought then Murphy might have slipped the ball to Rodriguez. He looked like he was going for Phillips, but I think Rodriguez was a better option and he would have been in. But then when Mings came across, he's whacked it. That could have gone anywhere. Could have hit off Rodriguez and easily rebounded into the back of the net. So good play there from West Brom.
Every time a Villa player takes a restart, the home crowd are expressing their displeasure. Here is Holgate down the right-hand side, challenged by Grealish, but the early ball is knocked down the line and Mings has to rise to deal with the bounce of the ball, then loses out to Rodriguez, who cuts it back into the penalty area. Tuanzebe was in the way, and it's the first corner for West Bromwich Albion, and Mings not happy he didn't get the free kick, and the Villa bench are also telling Lee Mason the same.
Yeah, I mean, that to me looked like a shoulder in the back, not shoulder to shoulder. Good strength there from Rodriguez, but I thought it was a foul. But what Mings has to do is be careful now. He's on a yellow, be a bit rolled up, and he might want to go and show his strength and then do a challenge on Rodriguez. So talk about individual battles, this is going to be a very, very intriguing battle throughout the night.
Brunt will take the corner, the first for West Brom. 28 minutes played, 0-0 at the Hawthorns. Brunt with the delivery in towards that near post, and it was met by Abraham. Really good defensive header, firm and well directed, and it will be a throw-in to West Bromwich Albion on this near side, and Holgate will look to go long once again, and he calls the ball boy over to ask for the towel. I wonder if they'll be similarly obliging for Aston Villa.
Well, they should be. These are the West Brom youth team lads who reached the semi-final of the FA Youth Cup that are doing the ball boying tonight.
Holgate with another long throw, high, looped into the penalty area, Dawson's header, and it's in, and West Bromwich Albion have the goal they were looking for. Aston Villa falling asleep at the set piece, the long throw flicked on by Dawson, and the Hawthorns has come to life. 1-0 on the night, 2-2 on aggregate, and West Bromwich Albion suddenly in the ascendancy on the road to Wembley.
Wow, that's erupted, listen to that noise, and it's all come though, that passage of play has come, and that'll be the contentious moment that the bench are arguing about. Did Rodriguez foul Mings? Well, anyway, a bit of a spell goes on, but it's that long throw into the box Dwight Gale was doing in the first leg. Now it's Holgate. They didn't deal with it. Dawson didn't know if he was going to be fit. Wow, he gets a glancing header into that post.
That's shocking defended.
It is, and well, you see when long balls come into the box, that's about desire, wanting it most. And tell you what, Dawson only had eyes to the ball, shows real desire and just glances it in. And that's why Mings now is arguing. He's asking, I was fouled. We said the first goal in this game is key. Things happen for a reason, because that would have been Dwight Gale taking that long throw, but instead it was Holgate, and this is what's happened. But listen to the noise. This really is now game on.
1-0 on the night, 2-2 on aggregate, and West Brom, having not really looked like scoring so far, have made the most of a set piece, but they've only kept 3 clean sheets at home all season, and tonight would not be a bad time to improve on that record. Of course, there are no away goals in the playoffs, so we are dead level in every respect. But just listen to the Albion crowd, who were beginning to get a bit frustrated as Rodriguez chests it back towards Johansson, but Grealish will quickly win it back. Now Tuanzebe, and Mings is still shaking his head. He's not happy. He believes he was fouled, but he's got to get that out of his head and concentrate on what is becoming now a key part in the game, with half an hour played and Albion leading by a goal to 0.
As you say, over an hour to go, you know, so he's got to move on from it, let the disappointment go, stick to his job, because at the moment Rodriguez is winning that individual battle. I still think it was a foul. I've not seen a replay, but it looked like a foul to me.
Now El Ghazi with a cross in which was deflected off Holgate towards this near side, and it's hooked into the area by Grealish, but nowhere near a claret shirt, and it's gathered by Sam Johnston. And this now is a real test for Aston Villa.
Yeah, and Jimmy Shan called on the fans. These Albion fans have been absolutely fantastic, and that goal has settled them down, because of course you don't want to miss games like this, but they're tense. They know what it means to their team. But once the free kick's not been given, the corner comes in, Abraham defends it really well, but the long throw, you've got to get that first contact on it. Dawson wanted it most, but yeah, as you say, Tyrone Mings just looks with his body language like it's really affected him. He's just got to move on from it, and Aston Villa were playing well until then, but listen to this now, it's really lifted it, and that's what they say, goals change games, and it certainly has tonight.
It is the 54th goal here at the Hawthorns in Championship games this season, as Murphy goes to ground, and the referee's having nothing doing with players throwing themselves down here.
No, we saw El Ghazi go down, and at the end of the day, he's been consistent for both sides, so he's letting it be a physical game, and that's what he's doing.
Now Andre Green looking to attack for Villa down the right. The cross is a deep one. It was heading towards Grealish before it was met by the forehead of Holgate. Now Phillips gathers midway inside the Albion half with that familiar close stepping run, but he just runs into El Mohammadi, and the back pass will find Steer, and Phillips will continue, and Steer clears long downfield once again, but it will come straight back. Holgate heads it into the path of Johansson. Here is Brunt now. Albion in the ascendancy, leading by a goal to nil. Brunt was caught late there by McGinn. Good refereeing by Chris Kavanagh. He waited to see if Albion had the advantage. None was forthcoming, and he's come back and given the free kick inside the centre circle.
He has, but again he hasn't produced a card, and I think that's a correct decision. But I keep saying it, in that first leg at Villa Park, West Brom did not press like this. They didn't, but every time the ball goes backwards, they go after it, they go and press the goalkeeper, and that's why then Villa having to go long, and Albion are picking up the first, second balls, and I think it's a really good tactic. Leave it all out there.
Brunt with the free kick high into the area, and Hagazi leapt with the goalkeeper Steer, but he also fouled him, and it will be a free kick to Aston Villa. 33 minutes played. You're listening to West Brom 1, Aston Villa 0 on Talk Sport, with McDonald's Fun Football providing over 5 million hours of fun grassroots football to the UK by 2022. And to go back to the goal, it was almost slow motion, wasn't it?
It was, yeah, because there's not lots of pace on the throw. It's quite a loopy one, but then Dawson gets on it, glances it, and you see it's beating everyone, and it's a hit the post, and which is it going to go in, is it going to come out, and it goes in the back, and then wow, didn't this place erupt? And they always, the first goal is so important, but Sam Johnson, you know he's going to be a big figure tonight, and like you said, Nigel, this would be the perfect time for him to improve that clean sheet record at home.
Only Dawson's third goal of the season. Used to be a relatively prolific goal scorer for a defender, but he's come up with a big one here for the Baggies. 1-0 on the night, 2-2 on aggregate. Steer clears on this near side. Taylor does well to keep it in play just in front of the two technical areas. Now Grealish, you know he's on the ball, quickly forward towards Abraham. Grealish was caught late there, very late by Johansson, and there has to be a card surely.
I don't think he'll get one, but do you not think Grealish jumps into them a little bit? He invites a challenge.
He jumps out at them, certainly.
Yes, I'm not sure. Maybe we'll get a yellow here, but I just felt that he overran it, he jumped into, and then this reaction that Kavanagh's is why he's then called him over. But maybe jumping into him, he's caught his knee and his thigh a bit. But as you say, you always know when Jack Grealish is on the ball, because it's, what did you call it, a cacophony of booze. It's just everywhere. But he's so used to that. But I don't think he should be in a yellow card. But Grealish,
and it hasn't been one.
No, and he gets fouled all the time. But
he does go down dramatically as the free kick is played in by Horahan, who was trying to catch Johnston off his line from 50 yards out, and it's just over the top.
But the word Kavanagh had there with Johansson is saying no more. There's been a few left on him, and so he will be in the book if it happens again. But yeah, the way Grealish plays and the socks rolled down, the way he invites the challenges, it's what he's about. But free kicks in dangerous areas is so key to Villa's game as well.
West Brom have only lost one of the previous 22 games in which they took the lead, and that was the first leg on Saturday. Here is McGinn coming forward now for Villa, finding Grealish down the centre. Grealish goes down as Holgate makes the challenge, and it's a free kick just outside the penalty area, and Grealish believes Holgate should be getting a red card.
Well, I don't think he should be, and I think the referees made the right decision. I think it was an honest attempt to get the ball, but maybe a yellow card. because Grealish was, I don't think he'd have got a shot off, but it shouldn't be a red, because it was one, it was an honest attempt to get the ball, but also there was a covering defender. But this is, we just said, he wins free kicks in dangerous positions, and when you got the likes of Horahan who can get over the ball, then this is very, very dangerous. So Sam Johnson needs to line his wall up correctly, and his wall needs to do his job, and Sam needs to protect his side of the goal.
El Ghazi is down injured here, and he wants treatment, and El Ghazi is actually waving on the medical team himself, and that's not really his call, as Chris Kavanagh goes back towards the halfway line. Jack Grealish has come all the way across to this near side to take on some fluids just in front of the technical area, and there's a few words from John Terry as well.
Yeah, we're getting the information into them, probably saying to the lads as well, keep your cool, it's just getting a little bit niggly. Grealish has been challenged a couple of times. I think it's been a good decision to give Jack Grealish a captain's armband and give him that little bit more responsibility. Since he's come back into the team, it's like he's really relished it. As with El Ghazi, I thought he's just, you know he can be a match winner, but it just looked like he was doing his groin a little bit, the inside of his left groin. So if he has tweaked a muscle injury there, it's quite high up, he's pointing, the physio and the doctor are looking at it, so they need to be careful. He can't take risks with that. But this free kick here, very, very dangerous position. As a goalkeeper, you just wanted to get on with it. You don't want all the thoughts that can go through your mind. But he's lined his wall up, and he's got. You have to be brave. Stand and protect your side. But do you think Grealish will take it, or Horahan? Who do you think will take this?
Well, if it's Grealish on the field, Grealish will take it.
Yeah.
37 minutes played. West Bromwich Albion leading by a 0-0 here on Talk Sport, the home of the EFL playoffs. This tie now level on aggregate. Albion taking the lead for the second leg running. And Grealish has this free kick, left of centre. And he can curl this right-footed, or Horahan with the left, but it favours the right-footed kicker. Although Horahan scored from long range with a bit of swaz on Saturday.
Yeah, the fact that Grealish is the one who keeps moving the ball, keeps adjusting it, and he's placing it, makes you think he might take it. But yeah, his strike was brilliant from Horahan to get them back in it.
And Mings is in the wall. He's now moved away, so there's a gap between Brunt and Phillips. Every single West Brom player is back defending. A key moment in the first half of the second leg. It's Horahan who curls it low into the wall. The wall does its job. It breaks out to Tuanzebe. Now Grealish again on this near side, the left, shuffling away from Rodriguez. He has Green in support, and Grealish loses out to Holgate, who has been immaculate so far for West Brom, and the long ball up to the halfway line will be chased by Johansson and cleared away by Taylor, and maybe Grealish should have taken it.
Yeah, and the way he placed the ball as well, but it was a poor free kick with someone who said about the quality that Horahan has in that left foot.
Now Gibbs streaking forward for West Bromwich Albion down the left hand side, has Phillips and Murphy in support, back in field towards the Egyptian Hegazi. Square now to Dawson. Dawson has the opportunity to move forward. The goal scorer so far, back towards the vastly experienced Chris Brunt, who's been part of promotion campaigns with West Bromwich Albion before. Twice they have gone back up at the first attempt to the Premier League. On the other occasion, they were back up in the second season. In the first season of the Premier League, it was the one time they won a playoff tie and a playoff series down in the third tier when they beat Swansea and then Port Vale long time ago. As McGinn, tenacious in the challenge, wins it back from Murphy. Horahan now wide to the far side, and El Mohammadi back towards McGinn on the edge of the penalty area, wide again towards Green. Green with the delivery, and it's a dreadful cross. Overhit and out to played on this near side for a throw-in. And we've played 40 minutes, Matt. How many shots have Villa actually had?
Well, because they're getting into positions like that. Either a free kick, Horahan hits a wall. Green there, it looks like he was appealing for a throw-in, but for me, it just looked like he totally overhit it. And that's what Dean Smith will be saying. You're getting into good positions, but keep your composure. That final ball, because they need to be testing Sam Johnson. They've had 3 or 4 corners, come to nothing. Yet one set piece, one long throw is what is costing Aston Villa at the moment.
Right, Clark just producing us with the up-to-date stats. Villa with 65% possession. We've had 1 shot on target, and that was the goal. And now McGinn once again on the right-hand side, back towards Hegazi, and Johnson will clear straight out of play. And West Brom here will start thinking about half-time. 4 minutes to play on Talk Sport, and they've got the goal they need for now. El Mohammadi will take the throw-in. back towards Tuanzebe. And the goal will be worth a second look at half-time to see who missed Dawson's run and who wasn't on the far post. Now McGinn challenging and losing out to Hegazi, and Tuanzebe will go all the way back towards Steer. Rodriguez in the vicinity, and Steer plays it out towards Hourihane. It was a dicey ball, but Hourihane was able to deal with it and find Tuanzebe on the far side. And now taking over is El Mohammadi, and they go all the way back towards Mings inside the penalty area. And this high press is causing Villa no end of problems.
Yeah, they just can't get out, and sooner or later someone will get caught on the ball, or take a risk or play a ball slightly wrong, and then West Brom are in. And when you work this high press, you win the ball back 30 yards from goal. You're a lot closer than when you drop all the way back into your own half, and it's working at the moment.
Taylor down the left hand side for Villa. Now Abraham's patrolling the channels. Dawson has come out to deal with him, makes the challenge, and it's a throw into Villa 10 yards from the corner flag on this near side, the right. Every single challenge, every single tackle for West Brom is being cheered to the echo by their supporters. Now Grealish back towards Taylor, and El Ghazi goes for goal, and that will be the first shot on target, low towards the near post, and it's gathered comfortably by Johnston.
Yeah, and it's 42 minutes in, and I thought in the first leg that Tammy Abraham fed on a lot of scraps, and that's why he deserved his penalty, if you like, because he'd worked so hard defending him, defending his own box, tracking back, and he didn't get much service. He got his penalty. Dawson's really marshalled him well, but that is the first shot on target. Routine save for Sam Johnson, but at least they've worked him.
Jimmy Shan standing there on the edge of the technical area, of course a Birmingham City fan, so he's got personal ambition to winning this game tonight, and he was also in the Walsall Academy when Dean Smith was in the first team there.
Okay. Yeah, a bit of history, and so Sorcerer and Apprentice a little bit maybe? Not.
Yeah, well Dean Smith did a very good job as Walsall manager, took them to Wembley in the EFL Trophy, but was ultimately beaten as Abraham has been caught by Brunt, and it's another free kick, and Abraham turns to Chris Kavanagh and pleads, saying, how many times?
Yeah, give me some protection. That's what they're saying, they want protection. But going back to Jimmy Shan, he's done really well, because he's tweaked a few things. He's looked at the game on Saturday and thought, how am I going to get my team back into it? So they had a quick turnaround, and again you can see a team with a clear identity of what they're trying to do. But going back to that, that there, Abraham is saying, come on, I'm getting kicked a bit here, give me some protection, get that yellow card out.
Now Taylor on this near side, the left. Grealish coming short. El Ghazi also in support, but the cross is straight to Dawson, and he finds Phillips, who has his shirt pulled by Taylor, but it's back in field to find Johansson, the Norwegian with the hair swept back, but he loses out to a lunging challenge from Taylor. And here is Grealish now, holds off three West Brom players, finds McGinn, and El Ghazi looking to attack the penalty area. Square towards Grealish again, onto the left foot, and he pokes it back out wide towards Taylor. Space for a good delivery, low across the penalty area, awful delivery, and it's straight to Jacob Murphy.
Yeah, it took time to try and pick someone out, but yeah, just picked up the Albion player. But again, good defensive play from West Brom, getting back behind the ball and very compact.
Murphy curls a pass wide to this near side with the outside of his right foot to find Rodriguez. Now Holgate takes over. Rodriguez unmarked inside the penalty area, but Mings was able to head away, but a break into the penalty area by Murphy. It's cut back looking for Brunt and intercepted by another Irishman from the other side of the border, Conor Hourihane.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he was free, wasn't he, Rodriguez? He's had a little bit more loft on it, he would have been in with a free
header. And he's furious now because he was free again, but Dawson didn't see him for the long diagonal cross.
Yeah, just didn't go for it. It's good movement from Rodriguez. He's pulling on the shoulder, and if Dawson had seen it, he could have dropped the ball in, and wow, a second goal before half time would have been massive.
We're into a single minute of added time on Talk Sport. Fascinatingly poised, with West Brom leading by a goal to nil, 2-2 on aggregate, and there's almost an error there by Green, chesting the ball into the path of Rodriguez, and Brunt now has a coming together with McGinn. McGinn has stayed on the ground, and Villa take the free kick quickly, but the referee will stop play because one or two players are squaring up to each other. Not quite Aston Villa leads all over again, but a few tempers are running high here, and Jack Grealish, as the captain, is in the heart of that, and McGinn is still on the ground following the challenge from Brunt.
Yeah, I don't know if Grealish felt that Brunt trod on him, but then McGinn's got up and he's angry. But I thought
McGinn is absolutely livid. Chris Kavanagh is just stood there in the middle of it having a look. Johansson then pushes him away. McGinn is having words with Mings, and the taller player is taking him across to the far side and just saying, look, calm down.
Yeah, so McGinn's holding his arm, so I thought maybe it was his face at first, but he's holding his arm, and I think Brunt's saying, you know, it's an accident, nothing's really happened, but yeah, just keep your calm, don't do anything, you react. Suddenly if you send your team down to 10 men with, you know, over a half to play, and maybe extra time as well, you really can't do it. So I think again, Kavanagh has handled it very, very well.
And Mings will take the free kick right at the end of the first half here, with Villa trailing by a goal to nil on Talk Sport, and that is half time. And what a second half we have coming up here. The only goal nodded in by Craig Dawson on 29 minutes, the long throw from Holgate, and Dawson arrived at the near post, the glancing header sneaking its way beyond everybody in at the far post. Aston Villa have offered little in response, tempers have been frayed as well. It has been a typical playoff semi-final so far. At half-time, West Bromwich Albion lead Aston Villa by a goal to nil. It is 2-2 on aggregate. Thank you, Russ. Just underway with Aston Villa looking to move forward down the left-hand side. Grealish goes down again and doesn't get a free kick this time, but it will be a throw-in for Aston Villa in their claret shirts, sky blue shorts and sky blue socks, playing from left to right in the second half towards their supporters. Away on the far side, all decked out in claret and blue. The rest of the ground is awash with blue and white, with West Bromwich Albion in their blue and white stripes, white shorts and white socks. The darkness has now descended at the Hawthorns, but it's still a very mild evening, typical playoff weather. And at the moment we have a classic playoff scenario. 1-0 to West Brom, 2-2 on aggregate. The two sides again. Johnston in goal for West Brom. Dawson, Bartley and Higazi, their three central defenders, as Villa look to come forward with Higazi. Elghazi on the far side. His cross though is blocked and it's behind for a corner. Holgate, Brunt, Johansson and Gibbs. The four across the middle for West Brom, with Phillips and Murphy either side of Rodriguez. And Grealish gets a real ovation from the Villa fans behind that goal. Away to our right, they have around half of that stand. A couple of thousand have made the very short journey. The two stadia, Villa Park and the Hawthorns, only 4 miles apart, and the Albion fans on the far side suggesting the ball wasn't in the quadrant as Grealish takes the corner. Short to Hourihane. Hourihane has been flattened on the far side by Johansson, and it will be a free kick for Villa in a very dangerous area.
And in the first half, they sent two out for the short corner. I'd said on Saturday they kept sending one out, and again they've sent one out, and that's why Villa have played around them. Someone's come late, and now they've won a free kick in a dangerous position. I'm sure Jimmy Sham would have said, start this second half well, and what they've done, Villa are straight out and won a free kick in a very dangerous position, and I think it could have been easily prevented. I just don't know why someone switched off or whatever, but I don't know why only one person came out originally for that short corner.
Hourihane is over the free kick. Grealish lurking with intent on the left corner of the penalty area, and McGinn is further square of him. Abraham tussling with Bartley at the near post. It's whipped in by Hourihane, doesn't beat the first man, Brunt. Headed clear as far as Grealish, who had the opportunity to come inside but then goes outside. Hourihane with a driven cross in, looking for Abraham, and he diverts the ball wide at the near post, and it will be a corner. The Villa side again, steering goal: El Mohammadi, Tuanzebe, Mings and Taylor. Hourihane, Green, McGinn, Grealish, Elghazi and Abraham.
Hourihane will be disappointed. He had a free kick in a dangerous position in the first half, hit the wall. Then in the second half now, right at the start of it, he's got it around the wall, but then not missed the first man in Chris Brunt, and he's cleared it. And then brilliant ball from Grealish that allowed Hourihane to whip a ball in. I thought Abraham got the contact on it, but then I thought it hit an Albion defender and went behind, but it wasn't given.
Elghazi skates away from a couple of challengers down the left. McGinn waits in the centre. Johnson palms it clear, almost into the path of Abraham, but West Brom got away with one there. Here is Murphy now, looking to lead the breakaway at the other end. Johansson has Phillips wide on the far side, the right. Making the run down the centre is Murphy. The cross finds him now. Murphy controls it brilliantly with his back to goal. Needs support, picks his way through the challengers, turns around onto his right foot and then runs into Grealish and gives the ball away.
Yeah, good control from Murphy, but then he just didn't know what to do with it. At the other end, good play, ball into a dangerous area. Excellent goalkeeping from Sam Johnson, because he knew with McGinn coming in the middle, he had to get something on it, but he got plenty of power on it and palmed it to a good area. No one else could follow it in, but this game's really open with Aston Villa on the attack now. I'll tell you what, it's getting very stretched.
It's Green coming in field down the right-hand side, but the experience of Brunt wins it back, and now it's dummied by Murphy. I think it was dummy, but the look he got from Rodriguez as he chased the ball through suggests that he wasn't.
Yeah, so on different wavelengths, but I tell you what, this game, this half, it's just like real cup football. Aston Villa said we're going to get back into this. West Brom are pressing, Villa are pressing. That looked like a foul to me from Bartley, but yeah, it's very open at the moment.
Nearly 5 minutes played in the second half. Bartley brings it forward. Johansson, though, was more conservative, and Abraham is still down, but West Brom will play on here against 10 men. Phillips wide to the far side, the cross driven in by Holgate, and it will spin out a play off Taylor, and it will be a throw-in, and the referee will eventually allow the medical team on, will he? Well, he'll make a long walk back here, Chris Kavanagh, to assess the potential damage on Tammy Abraham. England have won the third one-day international in Bristol by 6 wickets. They lead the series 2-0.
Yeah, well, Abraham in Aston Villa, he made a challenge, didn't he? And then when the physios came running, I was like, no, I didn't need you on. He was time wasting, but he's definitely hurt there. Again, they haven't been called on, but they've already ran on without the referee calling them on. But this will be very concerning to this Aston Villa bench. He hurt his shoulder when he scored at Bolton, but this looks like lower limb. But when someone came in the back there, was it Bartley, and challenged him? He hasn't got back to his feet, but Dean Smith will be desperate that Tammy Abraham can continue, because he's obviously a goal threat, but he's so important defensively, whether it's corners, long throws coming into the box, and I think he will be able to continue, but it just looked like a sore kick.
Abraham back on his feet. You're listening to West Brom against Aston Villa on TalkSport, with McDonald's Fun Football providing over 5 million hours of fun grassroots football to the UK by 2022. And Abraham, who is flexing his left shoulder, just comes across to this near side. He missed the final 3 games of the regular season before returning for the playoff first leg, and I think he'll be okay, but Dean Smith will just have a check, and Abraham will quickly return as soon as the ball is hurled into the penalty area by Holgate. Holgate with another long throw, Bartley this time challenging for it. Gibbs will try and recover on the edge of the penalty area, then Phillips plays it back out wide towards Holgate, and the cross comes all the way through towards Higazi at this near side, who tries to keep it in play. Clearly somebody in blue and white got a touch, because Villa have a throw-in.
Fantastic ball in from Holgate, but when you got long throws coming in your box, you don't want Tammy Abraham on the touchline receiving treatment. You want him in the box trying to help you head it clear, but West Brom do really well to keep it alive, and that second ball in from Holgate was brilliant and just missed everyone. He's been a good signing as well for West Brom.
And McGinn looking to bring it forward now, but he's given the ball away to Murphy. Here is Brunt down the left. Brunt from long range, just over the top.
Whoa, they really are pressing well, and I just keep saying it. Why did West Brom not press like this in the first leg? Because every time they press Villa, you give good players time, it's difficult, but they're pressing them, they're getting after them, then they're getting balls in dangerous areas. Well, Villa are open because they're trying to build from the back and play an open style, but Chris Brunt again, he's getting closer, isn't he? His first one went way over, that one there just a bit over, but good pressing, good play from Chris Brunt, good play from West Brom.
Well, they led for nearly an hour in the first leg, but 2 goals in 3 minutes as Steers giving the ball away to Murphy. Murphy's shot is blocked up the line by Mings, and then Rodriguez puts it over the top. And what on earth was Jed Steer doing there?
Well, Jed Steer, we talked about it, I was talking to Sam Matterface and Darren Goff. Jed Steer has come in the team and been brilliant since he came on at half-time against West Brom when Kalinic got injured. But I tell you what, that's what nerves can do to you, that's what pressure can do to you. He's just made the wrong decision. It was an awful ball out, and that was going in. Brilliant clearance from Mings, but do you know what I liked about Mings? Didn't dig him out, he just went and gave him a hug, said this is what we do, you'll save me sometimes, I've saved you there, and quite rightly so. Jed Steers just whacked that goal kick about 20-30 yards into West Brom's
arm. Now Tuanzebe slips, and he was the last man, but he's able to recover. Jimmy Shan applauding the efforts of his team. At the moment they are creating pressure in the minds of the Villa players as well, with 53 minutes played at the Hawthorns on TalkSport, the home of the EFL playoffs. Albion leading by a 1-0. It is 2-2 on aggregate, but at the moment, if there is to be another goal in 90 minutes, long way to go, of course, Albion look the more likely goal scorers.
Oh, they're looking really, really good. They're pressing well. They've come out fired up, and you've got to remember that the players gave everything on Saturday. It's a quick turnaround, so their recovery has been brilliant from both players. It was a brilliant game.
Phillips now down the right-hand side, looking to isolate Mings. Phillips with the cross, deflected behind off Mings, and it will be an Albion corner.
Yeah, it's going to be another ball whipped in the box. Dawson, El Ghazi, everyone's going to be coming up. Bartley, the ball's going to be whipped in. But this, when you're the away side, is when you've got to look at each other man to man and say, right, let's just weather this storm. Let's make sure my man does not score. I stick with him. But there's a lot of pressure. And West Brom are looking very, very good at the moment.
Albion sensing a second goal here, which would give them the aggregate lead once again. 54 minutes played, 1-0 they lead. Brunt will take the corner, and he will whip this ball in left-footed. Brunt's delivery, high towards the far post. Mings rises with an excellent defensive header. Grealish back towards Taylor inside the penalty area, and he will get good distance up towards the halfway line. Abraham will chase, it's 2 against 1, and he goes down under the challenge of Johansson, but no free kick given, and Higazi and Gibbs will find Johnston.
Yeah, brilliant tracking back from Johansson, but that was one fantastic header from Tyrone Mings in his box. Ball whipped in, brilliant delivery from Brunt. But Albion are looking excellent. They really, really are. I couldn't see this happening, but I'll tell you what, they've been brilliant.
Now Villa give the ball away again on the edge of their own penalty area. Here is Murphy now, driven wide, but he delivers the cross into the 6-yard area, but Rodriguez had gone towards the far post. Mings will clear, and Mings just belts it downfield. Anywhere will do.
Yeah, Villa, who are having some spells of possession, just can't keep possession at all. It's all Albion, and it's just because they're pressing, it's the intensity, and but this is when they need to get the goal now. But that's a bit of a crunching challenge there from Holgate, surely.
But the ball had gone out of play as Mings brought it forward, and the throw-in has been given to West Bromwich Albion.
Okay, well, I thought he took Mings out there, but Mings,
he did, but the ball had already gone out.
It's already gone out of play, but Mings has been hurt there, so they should at least wait and check that he's okay. But that's just showing you the intensity that they're pressing with, and Mings isn't even getting any treatment. I think that's a bit poor sportsmanship, but I tell you what, listen to this crowd. It's these challenges, they're pressing, and this is what these Albion fans want to see, because some Villa fans thought it's done and dusted, speaking to me saying, can you get me tickets to Wembley? I thought,
very dangerous.
Yeah, there's a long way to, that's what I thought, there's a long way to go yet.
Now Rodriguez, 25 yards out, on the turn, the shot though is fumbled by Steer, and in the end he's able to cling on gratefully.
Yeah, brilliant play from Rodriguez. He's been working hard, he's been holding the ball up well. He hasn't really had many sights of goal, but that was a brilliant touch to swivel and strike. Either side of Steer, he could have been struggling, but he just caught it in the second attempt. But all these things, Villa again putting their foot through the ball because they don't want to invite that press. Albion really, really are pushing and have that momentum and look very, very good.
And now McGinn, excellent play from him to spin away from Brunt in the midfield, 25 yards out, wide to the left-hand side, and Grealish, he comes back in field. Hourahan has not been picked up here. Thought about the shot, then goes square towards El Mohammadi down the right-hand side. Villa suddenly have half a dozen claret shirts inside the Albion penalty area. El Mohammadi once again back in field towards Hourahan. 57 minutes played. Villa trail 1-0 on the night, 2-2 on aggregate, and they over-elaborate there, but eventually they win a throw, and El Ghazi rather awkwardly plays a high bouncing ball into the body of Hourahan, but Mings and Twanzebe will set Villa going once again. Short towards Hourahan, laid into the path of Grealish, who has tried to influence the game further up the field, but the longer it's gone on, the more difficult Jack Grealish has found that. But now he looks to bob and weave in between a couple of challenges. He is body checked by Johansson, and to much ironic cheering from the Villa fans, the Norwegian gets the booking, which has been coming for a long, long time.
Yeah, he had the warning in the first half for a similar foul, and persistent fouling, and eventually it was going to happen, and now that will play into Jack Grealish's hands, because in the first half and of both legs, he hasn't really been able to get on the ball and make things happen like he wants. He's coming deeper and deeper in this second half, but now that might just allow him to get that little pocket of space and be more influential. He's been getting very frustrated.
Now Hourahan unable to ride the challenge of Murphy, but it spins kindly into the path of El Ghazi by the corner flag. On the far side, the Villa left. El Ghazi with a cross which swirls high into the air, cleared away by Gibbs. El Mohammadi now finding McGinn with a left-footed shot. Well, he scored some absolute screamers this season, but that came off the outside of the left boot, always swinging away from goal.
Yeah, he needed to get it with the inside of the boot and try and bring it back, but credit to West Brom, because when that ball came into the box, it was defended well at the back post by Gibbs, but then when El Mohammadi tried to move it into McGinn, I just love the way that those blue and white shirts are out there pressing him, not giving any time, because they know that he can hurt you from that range, and that's why he's got his effort all wrong, high into those Villa fans, but that's a little bit better from Aston Villa. But all in all, in this game, they have not tested Sam Johnson at all.
59 minutes played, 1-0 to Albion on the night, 2-2 on aggregate on TalkSport in the first Championship semi-final second leg. Abraham, challenged by Higazi, appeals for handball as the Egyptian brings it clear, and he now plays it square towards Johansson. Johansson with a delicate ball across the field towards this near side, the left, and Kieran Gibbs. Now Brunt lofts it forward, and Murphy, who's becoming more of a factor in the game, will draw Tuanzebe out of the centre to make the challenge, and now a reverse ball back towards Gibbs. Gibbs' cross is blocked by Hourihane, and it's another Albion corner, and Albion are dominant at the moment with an hour play.
Albion have been excellent, they really have, and Dean Smith and Rich O'Kelly are chatting down there. They'll be thinking, what change can we do, because they can feel that second goal's coming. It's going to be another ball whipped into the box. This pressure from West Brom is relentless. Aston Villa just can't really get out at all.
Phillips will take the corner, an in-swinger down the right-hand side, just kicks away a couple of water bottles. Phillips high towards the far post. Bartley heads it back into the 6-yard area. Mings will rise above Rodriguez to clear, and it will be another corner now from the other side, the Albion right. Don't forget, Leeds against Derby coming up live from Ellen Road tomorrow night on TalkSport, the home of the EFL playoffs. I'll be alongside Simon Grayson there. Thursday, Pompey against Sunderland with Dance and David Connolly from League One. Sunderland leading by a goal to nil, heading to Fratton Park. Then Jim and David will bring you Charlton against Doncaster on TalkSport 2 on Friday. The Addicts 2-1 up, going back to the Valley. And of course, the FA Cup final with Sags, Sam and all of the team from 3 o'clock on Saturday. And the referee having to sort out a real schmozzle inside the 6-yard area. There is so much backing away there and backing in going on. Brunt's delivery right into the 6-yard area. Abraham heads it up in the air. Higazi nods it towards goal, and the second header from Phillips is over the top.
He wasn't going to take a rocket scientist to work out where that ball was going to be delivered to. So much traffic in and around Jed Steer. It's horrible as a goalkeeper there, because you know you can't come, you get pinned in, any glance can be a problem, and it's a second ball as well. You know, the Albion got the first contact into a dangerous area, second ball and headed just over, but just pressure after pressure from West Brom. They're looking really good, but this is the moments in games that you have to go and get that goal. When you're on top, you get into areas, get that goal, and really, I'll tell you what, if Albion got a second, this place, wow, it would erupt. 61 minutes played as Mings heads it back towards Steer. Lots of high-quality sporting action coming up on TalkSport 2 again this weekend. On Saturday, it's the final day of the Gallagher Premiership regular season. We'll have commentators and all the games that matter in the playoff race. Then on Sunday, non-league finals day, the FA Vars, Chertsey against Craig Valley and Fylde against Orient in the FA Trophy. Both of those games live back-to-back on TalkSport 2. As Villa win a free kick inside the centre circle, played quickly by Hourihane, and here is El Mohammadi. Green, who can barely get a kick at the moment, wide on the right-hand side, back in field towards Hourihane again, and Villa's general play has become rather stodgy. It has. I just don't know if, Dean Smith's going to make a change. Maybe just bring a Doma on or someone like that, a bit of experience, just try and get on the ball, a bit of possession, but Green hasn't really got on the ball for Aston Villa, so I think maybe a Doma would be someone they could bring on, but it's just been all West Brom. Villa just can't get on it, aren't dictating the play, and really good play from West Brom so far.
Now McGinn tries to ride the challenge of Higazi on the edge of the penalty area. Higazi has hold of McGinn, and I think McGinn was trying to get over the line there to win the penalty.
Yeah, he was trying to back into him, but I just thought in the end it was good play from El Ghazi. McGinn saying he wanted a free kick, but maybe he backed into him a bit, maybe he pulled him a little. But
the Egyptian had hands on McGinn. At what point is he doing that? Because he's backing in.
Yeah, he's backing in, and maybe, but he can do it a little bit, but then let go. But I thought of McGinn backing in as well, so he sort of just moved out of the way. But the referee was right on the spot. But McGinn definitely felt it should have been a foul. If it had been, it would have been borderline penalty, but probably a free kick in a dangerous position.
Now Hourihane for Villa. 63 minutes played on Talk Sport. It has been an absorbing game so far. West Brom leading by a goal to nil on top, but it's 2-2 on aggregate. But Hegazi heads a long ball forward by El Mohammadi, straight up back towards Jed Steer. Now Tuanzebe looking for options ahead of him, and the press comes in from Rodriguez, so it's back towards Steer, and Steer will play it wide to the far side of Mings as the two central defenders split, and Mings has given it straight to Holgate. Here is Brunt now, 25 yards out, low shot just wide.
Wow, but
Villa again, all over the shop.
It's coming from the press though, because what's happening is Aston Villa, when they're trying to go long, Hegazi and that are winning all the headers. If they're trying to build from the back, the press is brilliant. It's not always the first person that wins it, but Rodriguez is so intelligent. Look at it now, Murphy, Rodriguez, Phillips, full press. So then they're trying to force balls from the back, they're straight onto it, and then they're very, very incisive. And Chris Brunt again, very, very close. But that's good tactics. That's working the classroom, the training ground, and then the players executing it. West Brom really, really have been so good in and out of possession.
Rodriguez pokes it back towards Phillips, and Phillips now can take on Tuanzebe for pace on this near side. Phillips continues, delivers a high cross to the far post, but Steer will gather under no real pressure and quickly bowls it out to pick out Grealish. Can the Villa captain find a way back into this game on the night for his side? His ball wide to the far side, looking for El Ghazi, is quickly cut out, and here is Holgate now with the early ball forward into Rodriguez, who controls and turns but invites the challenge from Mings, and then there's a late challenge again by Brunt on McGinn, and it's a yellow card for the Albion captain.
Yeah, he's definitely caught him there, looked like a sore one, and the referee right on the spot. But McGinn and Brunt have been having a right battle, but what tracking back. Holgate has been excellent, hasn't he? When Grealish, that's what Aston Villa wanted, was West Brom to be open a bit. Grealish drives, brilliant play from Holgate, but when that ball's gone into the middle, Brunt, I just think it's clever play from McGinn. He's got his body there first, right decision, only a yellow card, but there's a few players now carrying that yellow, could quite easily be another sending off in this game, and McGinn and Brunt are having a right chat, because McGinn's saying, any danger mate, you've stamped on me, well, trodden on me, and now you're clattered into me.
66 minutes played. If it stays like this, we will have extra time and possibly penalties. No away goals in the playoffs. Mings fires a ball wide to the far side. Taylor does brilliantly to control it. The ball loops up in the air and he's able to play it forward again, but if you're the fullback, thanks very much, mate.
Well, pass appreciation, wait a pass. I mean, that is unbelievable from Taylor to be able to control it. But again, he's not like Tyrone Mings. I've been talking about how this guy's been brilliant. He should be playing in the Premier League, but forced to pass there, pass given away earlier, and the press was, they were straight onto it. I think it was Phillips or Holgate. It's just at this moment in time, Aston Villa are really, really struggling.
Now El Mohammadi's tried to dummy it. It's headed forward by Gibbs. Murphy now coming in field down the left-hand side, took on one too many. Gibbs was free, and in the end the challenge comes in from Tuanzebe.
Experienced players making very simple mistakes. The ball from Steer was brilliant. Maybe I don't know if there was a message on it saying just control it, but El Mohammadi should have the picture, let it go, and then suddenly West Brom were right in again. But Jimmy Sham was saying you're winning these balls in great areas. Jed Steer has only there's been one that hit the target, which Mings cleared off the line. Apart from that, they haven't really made them count.
Steer now clears downfield again. 67 minutes played, 1-0 to West Brom, 2-2 on aggregate here on Talk Sport, the home of the EFL playoffs. Tuanzebe picking out Grealish inside the centre circle. The Villa crowd find their voices, quickly drowned out by the Albion boos as Grealish continues wide towards Taylor down the left-hand side, checks back in field. Grealish again, he could open up the space for the shot here, but he goes back towards Hourihane. Hourihane now finding El Ghazi. El Ghazi, right-footed shot turned aside by Johnston.
Yeah, first real meaningful save he's had to make, and it's a good save because it's come through bodies, it's low. You'd expect him to save it, but where has he put it into a really, really safe area? But that all came about because Grealish was able to run past Johansson, who was already in the yellow card, and he couldn't commit one of those fouls.
Now El Ghazi once again pokes it into the area, but the ball will be swooped on by Johnston once again. TalkSport supports the work of Prostate Cancer UK. Remember, in the time it takes to play a game of football, 2 men in the UK will die of prostate cancer. To find out more on how you can help, visit prostatecanceruk.org/football. And there is an Albion player down, Stefan Johansson, on the far side, and he will receive treatment, and that is the cue for many players from both sides to head towards the technical area and take on some fluid.
I'll tell you who will want this more: Aston Villa. They need to get some information across, they need to get some fluid, as you're saying, to the players, and just regroup and say, right, you've weathered the storm, stop taking these risks. You know, we've been here before, we know what it takes to get to the final, we're experienced players. But Johansson had gone off against Aston Villa in the first leg. He went down the tunnel in front of us on Saturday with a big ice pack on his Achilles, so maybe he's feeling that again, the way Grealish just ran past him. But Dean Smith, Rich O'Kelly, trying to get a lot of instructions into their team, because at this moment in time it looks like West Brom were the team that were going to go on and get the second goal, and if they did, as you say, that really puts them in charge and ahead in this tie, and the signal's just going to cross to the bench. That's Johansson's game over.
And looking at the options, James Morrison is the obvious one, like for like, or maybe Raheem Harper, but it's a big match for a teenager to come on to at this stage.
It is, yeah. Morrison came on at the weekend, so I'd have thought that they would go for Morrison, but we'll see who's going to go down and get stripped. But it's a blow for them. Yeah, it looks like Morrison, he's just getting given his set piece duties from Stephen Reid, and he'll know what he's got to do when he comes on. But Johansson's worked really hard, but he just the way Grealish went past him there, and he was definitely carrying a knock from the first leg as well. But he's put in a right shift and really has worked hard, as have the whole West Brom team, because the intensity of their play has been absolutely fantastic on a very warm night as well.
Well, Stefan Johansson, who beat Villa with Fulham last season, will hope his teammates can finish the job here. And James Morrison, the veteran Scotland international, who has been here for 12 years, will come on to replace him. And he's a good man to come on because he will look after the ball.
Yeah, he'll look after the ball, and he's an intelligent footballer as well, so will press well. Also, Johansson being on a yellow card, that was always going to be a risk, so Morrison knows what it's all about. He won't be fazed by this, he'll relish it, and he's got some quality as well. He can score some very good goals.
But he's not scored since September 2017.
But he'll be saying it's time for one,
absolutely, yeah. Not a bad time for him.
He's definitely scored some crackers though, hasn't he, in a West Brom shirt. 19
minutes to go. 1-0 to West Brom here on TalkSport. 2-2 on aggregate. And if it stays like this, we will be here beyond 10 o'clock. The Sports Bar will have a later start here on TalkSport this evening. And you can also react to this game on the Sports Bar, 08717 223344, whenever we finish. And at the moment, the game's just tightened up again.
It has, and it looks like Adoma's getting stripped now. I thought he might be getting on because Green, who's on the ball now, he hasn't really done much. But Aston Villa in this second half haven't been much of a threat at all.
Grealish forward again towards Green, who throws himself on the edge of the penalty area as Agazi makes the challenge, and the referee not interested. Here is Morrison, just beneath us here, down the West Brom left-hand side. Comes in field, plays it back towards Agazi, who was quickly challenged by Abraham, and it goes all the way back towards the man in black, Sam Johnston, defending the West Brom goal, away to our right-hand side. Long downfield from him, and too long on this occasion, but Tuanzebe heads it straight to Phillips, midway inside the Villa half. Phillips pirouettes and plays it back towards the goal scorer Dawson. That looping header after 29 minutes. Now Brunt finding Murphy, who can burst into the penalty area down the right, but Murphy's not been able to link up with his teammates, but it's given away by El Ghazi, and Holgate will try and bring it forward on this near side. He's been flattened by Taylor on the right side of the penalty area, and the Albion players and their fans want at least a yellow card here in addition to the free kick.
Yeah, it looked like the lineswoman Sian Massey is flagged for that. The assistant referee there, she's given the free kick, but I don't know if Taylor feels he got the ball, but I don't think it should be. Yeah, it's not more than the yellow. It's slide when you go to ground like the ball. Nah, he didn't. And when I don't know what the Villa players are arguing about, because when you go to ground like that, you saw where the ball went, you saw how high he went up in the air. I don't think there's any argument. So just do your job, get back in and stay with your man, because it's a free kick in a very, very dangerous position. It's Chris Brunt over the ball. It's out on the Albion right, so it's going to be left-footed, whipped in with real quality. A horrible one for goalkeepers, because sometimes he just misses everyone. They aim for the back post. They've got to hold their line. But Taylor, why did he go to ground? He didn't need to go to ground, just stay on your feet. But it's invited the pressure. But I think Holgate, who's won the free kick there, he's been excellent for West Brom this evening.
Dwight Gale and Hal Robson-Kanu to our left, looking very nervous, along with many other people inside the Hawthorns. 16 minutes to play. Brunt will take the free kick, which is much better than a corner. Down the right, whipped in with the left foot, high towards the far post, and it's nodded over the top by Abraham, but he was being fouled by Bartley, and Aston Villa will have the free kick.
Yeah, good strength there, because that ball's whipped to the back post, but definitely was a foul. And here's a substitution that we thought might happen, and let's see, because Horahan had a massive impact at the weekend when the change was made. So Dean Smith needed to do something. So it's up to Adoma now to come on with a positive attitude and try and change this game.
Albert Adoma replaces Andre Green, and there will be another change here, and it's Harper who is coming on for Matt Phillips, who acts as a cheerleader here to get the crowd revved up on his way off. And this is a big moment for the 19-year-old, Raheem Harper.
It is, and he's an academy graduate, one that Darren Moore sort of blooded, and he stayed around the squad, so Jimmy Sham will know him well. I'm surprised though that Matt Phillips has come off, because I don't know if he's not quite fully fit. That's why I think maybe he comes off around this moment quite often. But he's still, the way he jogged off the pitch and the way he's been playing, he didn't look like he's carrying anything. And with maybe one and a bit games to go, if they do make the final, you can sometimes risk them, and just push them. But big moment now for young Raheem Harper.
Horahan plays it forward into the feet of Grealish, and now Horahan once again wide to the left hand side, and Neil Taylor, but it's straight to Holgate, who just can't keep the ball in play. Harper has gone into central midfield for West Brom. Adoma is on the Villa right. His last goal, of course, at Leeds was uncontested. Don't think he'll get another one here tonight.
I don't think so either. That's crazy, that, wasn't it? If they did make Leeds in the final, wow, what an atmosphere that would be.
Well, at the moment, this game is in the balance. Leeds, favourites to beat Derby, Ellen Road tomorrow night, live on TalkSport. TalkSport, the only place you can hear both Championship semi-final second legs. As Steer clears long downfield. We'll be looking ahead to that Leeds Derby game in the Sports Breakfast with Alan Brazil tomorrow morning, and Tom Ross will also be looking back on this game as well, whatever the outcome. 14 minutes to play, extra time. Now looking a possibility here as a long ball is launched over the top, looking for the pace of Murphy, and Mings with a very confident back heel to pick out Taylor. If he got that wrong, they could have been in all sorts of trouble.
Yeah, very relaxed there from Mings. There's a brilliant kick from Sam Johnson, a little bit rugby-esque if you like, right into the corner, kicking there for territory, and well pressed by Murphy, but brilliant play from Mings. Very, very calm, nonchalant little back heel.
El Mohammadi finding Horahan. West Brom leading by a 1-0, and after some intense pressure at the start of the second half, it's become rather attritional. But now Bartley with an excellent ball forward, and Raheem Harper is in behind El Mohammadi, but El Mohammadi recovers superbly to make the challenge, win the ball, and find Tuanzebe.
Yeah, I thought for a minute there Raheem Harper just got there first and was going to be in front of him and driving away, because then it's a horrible one for a defender. But credit El Mohammadi, he just recovered. Otherwise that would have been a very, very dangerous position for West Brom. But West Brom now and then having to drop back into their shape, and Villa having a little bit more territory.
And El Mohammadi once again, one of two Egyptian internationals on the field, and his low cross towards the near post is deflected away off Harper, and it will be a Villa corner. And if they score now, that could be that.
It is, and your prediction would be right. You're saying that you thought.
I said it could be 1-1.
Yeah, it could be 1-1. Sorry, but
well, we both said that Derby would beat Leeds on Saturday.
Well, that was a hard. Yeah, again, it's so hard to call though the playoffs. But this is where Jimmy Shan will be looking, thinking we had a lot of play, but just somebody switches off now. You know, fantastic. If Grealish puts in a big delivery, so this is a moment now where these West Brom players have to really stand up.
Grealish will take the corner. An outswinger, right-footed, low to the near post. It was left by El Ghazi. It was a planned move, but it didn't come off. And now Murphy, using his pace, almost robs Hourihane on the halfway line. But Hourihane, in the midst of the challenge, manages to play it back towards Taylor. 12 minutes to play of normal time. West Bromwich Albion 1, Aston Villa 0 on TalkSport, the home of the EFL playoffs. 2-2 on aggregate. Extra time is looming, and maybe a penalty shootout. Grealish now, square to this near side, and El Mohammadi back in field towards Grealish again. McGinn unmarked just for a second on the edge of the penalty area, but Adoma takes over back towards Abraham. Abraham though loses out to Hegazi, but then it's won back by Adoma, and Hegazi steps in very quickly to win it back for West Brom, but then he is robbed by McGinn. McGinn has been hacked down by Brunt right on the edge of the penalty area, and the Villa players are saying, let's see a second yellow card.
Surely he's off. Surely you can't go to ground like that and tackle like someone.
He's off. Chris Brunt has been sent off. It is a second yellow card for the challenge right on the edge of the penalty area. Brunt stands there, hands across his face. He cannot believe what he has done here. For the second time in the semi-final, West Bromwich Albion are reduced to 10 men. Brunt is going back to have a word with Chris Kavanagh, but the decision has been made. He will hand on the armband, and Aston Villa here will play 10 men for the remainder of normal time and maybe the whole of extra time.
Yeah, he's got his head in his hands, and moments change games, whether it's substitutions, things like that, and that challenge right there might have just changed, really just flipped this tie again. And Chris Brunt, he knows what he's done. He's got his head in his hands, he's looking at Jimmy Shan, he's absolutely good.
He's almost in tears.
He is, because he knows what he's done, because even if they do make the final, he will miss it, but he's gone to ground now. But these West Brom players, the wall needs to stand strong. Sam Johnson needs to keep his concentration. Can they dig their mate out? But that'll be another big player suspended, but he can't complain. He cannot complain at all, Chris Brunt. Maybe he's a little bit lucky not to have gone early, but that's a definite second yellow. And but they've got to continue. They've got just under 10 minutes plus stoppage to see this through to extra time.
Hourihane is over the free kick along with Abraham. Grealish is to the right of the wall. It is Abraham who curls it over the angle and over the top. It will be a goal kick with 9.5 minutes to play. Albion leading by a goal to nil, and quickly they are making the change, and it's Toshin Adrabayo who will come on, and Jimmy Shan making that tweak very, very quickly.
Yeah, Jimmy Shan is really learning on the job. These are all the things you talk about when you do your coaching badges, but you know,
Murphy coming off.
Yeah, Murphy coming off, and this is what he has to do. He had to react with it, because I just feel that West Brom was starting to look a little bit tired anyway, because they pressed and they worked so hard, and you couldn't keep that going all the time. But now being down to 10 men, it's a big blow for them. But this is where these fans are going to have to stay with them. The players have got to stick to it, because they're still doing, really, really well, and they can still be very compact. But instead of being able to press as high, they're going to have to maybe try and see it through to penalties.
Toshin Adrabayo comes on loan from Manchester City. You're listening to West Brom against Aston Villa on TalkSport with McDonald's Fun Football, providing over 5 million hours of fun grassroots football to the UK by 2022. And the Villa fans in great voice now away to our right. Maybe they can sense something. Yeah, they will. They'll have sensed at the weekend how the momentum suddenly changed, and that was with Hourihane coming on and the goal and everything changing, and now they know that sending off could be a big moment, and their team are getting pressed, were struggling to build. They were just starting to have a bit of a spell, but look at it now. West Brom are straight back into a 5-3-1, if you like. Rodriguez will probably work back in to try and shield as much as he can, but West Brom are just going to have to stay strong, stay compact, stay organised, and Villa are going to see a lot of the ball and try and break them down and get that equaliser, which would ultimately put them ahead on aggregate. El Ghazi coming forward now. Adrabayo has gone into midfield. He was a right back for most of the season, and we have 7.5 minutes to play. West Bromwich Albion 1, 10-man West Bromwich Albion, leading Aston Villa by a 1-0, 2-2 on aggregate. If it stays like this, we will have extra time, and the sports bar will follow at the end of this game. 08717 22 33 44, and there is much to discuss, and there will be much more to discuss by the end of this game. Now Tuanzebe controls a spinning ball on his chest and plays it square to this near side, and El Mohammadi. Villa have really got to go for it now. They could finish it very quickly.
Yeah, they've got to go for it, but still be careful, not take a silly risk and something happen, but they'll believe now that they can go and win this game. Go and win it in normal time, keep moving the ball quickly, move around, because West Brom have worked so hard as it is, but now they've been one man less. Can they find that little gap? They're going to believe they're going to get a chance.
El Mohammadi wide towards Horahan, high into the area looking for Abraham, and Bartley does well. He was aware that Abraham was behind him, and he just used the eyebrows, the back header behind for a corner.
I think he's been excellent over the whole couple of legs. He's been really, really good, and you've mentioned it a few times. Sometimes people question him, his in possession passing and that, but he has really stuck to his task. He's defended well, used the ball well as well, just simply, but people like him now, especially on this corner, are going to be so important.
Horahan will take the corner, left-footed, an in-swinger towards the near post, flicked on and through the 6-yard area, and it bobbles behind, wide on the far side for another Villa corner.
Yeah, good desire. I think it's a combination of Adebayo and Ghazi who got that away, but more pressure from Aston Villa.
Played short by El Ghazi towards Grealish, back towards El Ghazi once again, delivers the early ball high to the far post. Horahan unmarked, heads it into the side netting area, and in fact it was gathered by Johnston before it got as far as that.
He could be disappointed there, Horahan. It's a good spot from El Ghazi. He's seen that Horahan's worked round the back, and Horahan got there totally unmarked and maybe could have headed it back into a dangerous area. Instead it was straight into the hands of Sam Johnson, and he'll just try and game management, take his time and kick that ball as far away from his goal as possible. West Brom now need to find a way, dig really deep and just find a way to try and get through to extra time and then regroup.
5 minutes to play, 2-2 on aggregate. We will have extra time unless one of these sides scores. Adebayo wins it back from El Ghazi. It's cleared forward by Holgate. Plenty of young players on the field now for West Bromwich Albion. Raheem Harper as well. And here is Mings for Aston Villa. A good ball down the far side, the left, looking for Taylor. Taylor's low cross is blocked initially by Dawson, and the final touch was off Taylor, and it spins behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, excellent defending there from Dawson. He's done very, very well, but West Brom again going to take their time over this. Sam Johnson's going to walk and get the ball, but you say there's some young players, but it's the experienced one. The experienced one in Chris Brunt.
Well, if Albion win, there's no Brunt, Gale or Robson Kanu for the final.
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy Shan has had a real baptism of fire, hasn't he, coming into this? Inexperienced coach, but I think he's handled himself really well, the way he's responded straight away, and credit the likes of Dion Burton, Jamie Smith as well, Stephen Reed, who are down there helping him, because they're all, they've coached a long time, but not in this environment. Stephen Reed has at Crystal Palace and at Reading, but the others haven't, and they're all helping him out. They're all doing their work. I'm sure he's offside there, Rodriguez, if he goes for this. Surely he's offside. Well, I don't get that rule.
Steer hacks the ball high into the night sky here, and it's gathered by Horahan. Now El Mohammadi wide to this near side, and the pacey Adoma. Only 4 goals this season after 15 during the previous campaign. Horahan again finding Grealish. Can he be the match winner? Grealish into the penalty area looking for Abraham. It's headed on back towards Abraham again. It'll come to Adoma. Magnificent save by Sam Johnston. Albert Adoma must have thought he'd won it, striking it 8 yards out, but Johnston with a world-class save. The corner's taken quickly. Grealish now down the right-hand side, square towards Horahan, outside the area. Horahan shot deflected. Johnson, a spectator, sees it loop just over the top.
Oh, that nick there just took it over, but what a save from Sam Johnson. I thought you were going to say that Albert Adoma scored 5 goals this season, because he did everything right. Touch, went low. What a save. You said world class. It is. It's up there because it's a top save.
It's a season saving save.
It's an unbelievable save. Palms it to a safe area as well. Top draw keeper, because he hasn't had loads to do. That is a top save.
Corner played short to Grealish. Now back towards Horahan again, who opens out the angle for the cross. and it's right across the penalty area to find McGinn. McGinn now onto his left foot, low shot from him, beaten away by Johnson. The flag's up for offside as El Ghazi fires it in from 7 yards over the top.
Well, Villa are having that pressure like we thought they might. We knew they would, really, making that extra man count, going for the jugular. But that's a good strike from McGinn. But Sam Johnson, his position is right. He stands strong. He can't catch it, but he palms it out with pace. So even if he hadn't have been offside, El Ghazi, he wasn't able to control the rebound. But that save, down to, I know I'm an ex-goalkeeper, but he stood and he said, go on, beat me. You're under pressure. You're in a semi-final of a playoffs. You beat me. And wow, what a reaction save from the former Aston Villa goalkeeper, former Manchester United goalkeeper. That is a top draw, because sometimes he took a little bit of stick at times, Sam Johnson, but that's a brilliant save for me.
Well, at times he's had a rather creaky defence in front of him.
Yeah.
The 3 clean sheets is not entirely down to him, or the lack of clean sheets.
He's kept loads for Villa last season, didn't he?
Absolutely. Adoma now with the cross in, blocked by Gibbs at the near post. Adoma wins it back, and the shot, right-footed, is dragged wide of the near post, and a couple of Albion players are complaining towards Chris Kavanagh as they make their way back towards the halfway line. But I think the referee's had an excellent game.
He has. Again, he's tried to be as lenient as he can. He's been consistent. He's tried to keep the cards in his pocket, but he had no choice with the Chris Brunt decision. And you saw Chris Brunt, and he walked back, he gave his armband over, he had his head in his hands. He knew that tackle there was a second yellow, could cost his side, but at the moment his teammates are out there doing a job for him, but Villa are really in the ascendancy.
Adebayo takes the ball down superbly on his chest, and finding Gibbs on this near side. Back to Adebayo once again. Now Harper back in field to pick out Higazi, and that red card from Chris Kavanagh, his 4th of the season. He had one rescinded in the Premier League, Holebas of Watford on Sunday. I don't think that one will be. Now Holgate down the right hand side looking for support, finds it from Harper, back again to Dawson. West Brom here looking for pressure in the final 20 seconds of the 90th minute. Now Bartley, a long diagonal ball wide to this near side, the left. Gibbs, can the 10 men steal it here? Gibbs comes in field from the left, back towards Adebayo. Excellent ball from him, wide now to the right hand side, and Holgate with a cross into the penalty area looking for Rodriguez, nodded clear though by Mings, and McGinn can play it forward. There will be 5 added minutes at the end of this game. 5 minutes away from extra time. 1-0 to West Brom, 2-2 on aggregate here on Talk Sport. Grealish has support from Horahan, and now McGinn takes over as West Brom look to get everybody behind the ball. Down to 10 men following the sending off of Brunt. McGinn square towards Taylor, and now El Ghazi takes over down the left hand side. He will try and tease Holgate. Holgate blocks the cross. Dawson will nod it clear, and El Ghazi will have another go. A deeper ball in this time towards McGinn, who goes for the near post header, and it deflects off McGinn, then Higazi, and goes behind for a corner.
Fantastic cross from El Ghazi. McGinn, he didn't get a great connection on it, did he? And then it went off El Ghazi out for a corner, but another corner for Aston Villa. More pressure, more balls coming in the box. They really are knocking at that door.
Grealish plays it short. Here is McGinn now on the edge of the penalty area. Back to Horahan, left-footed shot blocked. Horahan again, and he bobbles it wide. And he had 2 clear sights of goal there and couldn't hit the target with either of them.
Yeah, not the cleanest of strikes. Sam Johnson then spun the ball out, and Bartley ran over to him and said, whoa, calm down, let us get a breather. But credit West Brom, they're getting, they're organised, they're putting their bodies in the way, and that's why Horahan's strikes weren't the cleanest, because bodies are getting out and putting themselves, players are putting their bodies on the line, getting blocks off. But this will feel like a long 5 minutes to these West Brom players.
Mings wins the header from Johnson's goal kick on the far side. We have played 90 seconds of the 5 minutes here. 1-0 to West Brom on Talk Sport, 2-2 on aggregate. We are heading for extra time unless we have a dramatic late winner for either side here. If we don't, the sports bar will come up at the end of this game. 08717 223344 the number. Grealish has slipped, and then Grealish fouls Holgate on the far side, and of course West Brom now, every time there's a free kick, they want the yellow card, but I don't think Chris Kavanagh will show one.
Yeah, they want it evening up, but that was a slip from Jack Grealish. But what it does give now is West Brom a chance. It gives them an opportunity to put that ball into the Aston Villa box, to get their big centre halves up, try and win the first ball, try and win the second, and if they can maybe nick it. This is what they've been working towards. They've got plenty of height in the pitch. Aston Villa need to hold their line, show the desire, because this would be a massive blow to them.
The 93rd minute, Holgate with the free kick, high to the far post. Oh, that is an absolutely shocking delivery, straight out of play. You're down to 10 men, you've got a set piece, and you deliver something like that.
And now all those big centre halves who are tired anyway got to go sprinting back towards their own goal, but you heard the groan. That was a massive moment.
El Ghazi chasing a long ball down the centre, but Holgate, who needs to redeem himself, will get there first, and he goes down looking for the free kick but doesn't get it, but it's behind anyway for a goal kick, and we are 2 minutes away from extra time.
Yeah, he's had to do that big long run all because of his free kick. It was poor. It was really, really poor, but you know what? He's tired. He's worked hard. He's been up and down that pitch. He's been given everything. But that was a moment where he'd be disappointed in himself because it was an opportunity for West Brom. But now they're going to have to. Looks like they're going to have to do 30 more minutes. Will there be one more chance in this game for either side? But Sam Johnson's going to take this goal kick. What? He had a spell there where he made, one of those saves. Really is top draw, and that's a sign of a good goalkeeper, keeping your concentration and making a big save when your team needs you.
Mings slips as he plays it wide to this near side. I think a Jew may be descending on the playing surface. One or two players are having problems here. Adoma back towards El Mohammadi, and we have just over a minute of added time to play. Albion holding on to their 1-0 lead, 2-2 on aggregate. These two old Midlands rivals can't be separated, but here is El Mohammadi now, striding forward down the right hand side, further wide towards Adoma, back towards El Mohammadi. The low cross is met by Adarabayo. Now it's poked forward by Horahan, cleared away by Bartley on the edge of the penalty area. 45 seconds of added time to play. El Ghazi finding Grealish now. Can he deliver? Right at the end, Grealish with a low cross. It was deflected, and as it was heading towards the byline, Dawson lunges in to hook it away for a goal kick, or rather a throw-in on the far side. Grealish takes over once again for Aston Villa. 25 yards from goal. El Mohammadi now with a high cross towards the far post. It's beyond El Ghazi, it's beyond everybody, and it's a goal kick, and that surely will be that. That is that. Chris Kavanagh blows the full-time whistle, and at the end of 90 minutes, West Brom a goal up and a man down. It is 2-2 on aggregate, and we will head to extra time.
Yeah, get their fluids on board, get their information into them, get their, have a chat. I'm sure that you can see already Aston Villa's squad, Massa, I can see him.
Got the yoga matter.
Yeah, well, Big Al, we used to call him. He was ex-Wolves, and he's getting into those big cars with Jack Grealish, give him a rub, any bit of recovery they can, get into them, so it shows how prepared they are for this. West Brom players getting their fluid into them, getting their socks down again. Is that, Rodriguez is getting a rub, a massage. They just got to get every little percentage they can, and quite rightly so. They're congratulating Sam Johnson there for the big save he's made. So half an hour now, give us everything, work hard, can somebody be a hero? But Dean Smith talking to his players, Jimmy Shan again, what's he going to say to them? This is all very, very new to him. Dean Smith's much more experienced, but I tell you what, credit both of these teams. They've given everything, they've worked hard, but Villa will feel that they should have won it in normal time once West Brom went down to 10 men. Until Chris Brunt's sending off though, West Brom have been the better side. They were excellent, and it's going to be, you've got to fancy Aston Villa in extra time because of the extra man, but you never know, and this is the playoffs, and West Brom are defending very, very well.
We are half an hour away from penalties. It is finished after 90 minutes. West Bromwich Albion 1, Aston Villa 0, 2-2 on aggregate. Extra time coming up shortly. Thank you, Russ. And we've now had 5 red cards already in the playoffs this season. 2 for West Brom, 2 for Forest Green, and 1 for Sunderland, which has been rescinded. And how will West Brom play this here? 2 periods of 15 minutes. They lead on the night, 2-2 on aggregate. And if it's still level, it will be penalties. As El Mohammadi comes forward for Aston Villa, and looking at Albion's shape, it looks like will take penalties.
Yeah, they've got to be compact. That's what they've got to do. They can't, they've got their one man down, and they're going to have to be compact, be organised, and say to Aston Villa, come and break us down. So it's going to be difficult for Rodriguez up there. He's going to have to work hard, be selfless, work for the team. But that's what. And Adebayo's come on. He's done well. He's used the ball well. But yeah, it would be like a 5-3-1 if you like, and Villa have to break them down.
El Mohammadi with the early cross into the penalty area, met by Bartley at the near post with Abraham challenging him. Now Morrison with a long ball forward. Rodriguez all on his own, challenging Mings, and Rodriguez going down, and Mings stayed on his feet and will bring the ball clear.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult, Rodriguez against Swanzabi and Mings, but I thought that was good defending. Rodriguez tried, he worked there, but he's isolated, and now it'll be Aston Villa on the attack again. But Kyle Bartley, what a header that was when that ball came into his box, going towards his own goal to head it out to that area. But Villa just going to keep switching the play now and trying to find a little gap.
And here is El Ghazi coming forward now down the left-hand side. The low cross blocked by Holgate, and it will be a throw into Aston Villa by the corner flag. 90 seconds played in the first period of extra time on Talk Sport. West Brom leading by a 1-0, and they are about to make a change. And of course you are allowed an extra change in extra time, and it's a striker, Jonathan Leko, who is coming on, 19 years of age. He's not played under Jimmy Shan. His last game was the final game for Darren Moore, that 1-1 draw against Ipswich, and he's replacing Jay Rodriguez, another youngster.
Yeah, well, big moment for Leko here. He burst on the scene as a young man playing in the Premier League. Very, very young player. Say he's had loan spells that haven't overly worked for him, but I'm not sure if Rodriguez must be injured, because if they do make penalties, he's their main penalty taker.
Yeah.
So he has to be injured, but a big moment for Leko, and with his pace, that might allow West Brom to get out.
Scored 8 out of 9 penalties for West Brom during the regular season, Jay Rodriguez. As Grealish comes forward now, down the left-hand side, infield towards Horahan, and further square towards El Mohammadi. El Mohammadi's high ball in, looking for Abraham, met by Dawson on the edge of the 6-yard area and cleared further away by Morrison. Leko will challenge, but Villa quickly have it back. It's McGinn wide on the right-hand side. El Ghazi typically makes an all-or-nothing challenge, and McGinn will have a throw-in. If you're tuning in, waiting for the Sports Bar on Talk Sport, it will follow at the end of this game. Extra time at the Hawthorns, 1-1 on the night, 2-2 on aggregate. 08717 223344 is the number to call to react to this game with Andy and Jason when it eventually finishes, and it could be at least another half hour or so, maybe 40 minutes if it goes to penalties. Now Leko looking to use his pace, and it spins away as he goes to ground on the far side, and Villa will quickly regather. And Leko was out on loan at Bristol City last season, but didn't feature too much. Now Grealish wide towards El Ghazi, who comes in field again, plays the 1-2 with Taylor, square towards Horahan, and all the way across towards the right hand side, and El Mohammadi back towards Horahan once again. He looks for Grealish, but it's cut out well on the edge of the penalty area by Harper. But Grealish is still found by Taylor at the second attempt, and the cross driven in high to the far post. Adoma was shaping for the header, but Hegazi got there first, and he loops a header behind for a corner.
Another vital contact from Hegazi. He's so good at doing that, because he knows that Adoma's behind him. Brilliant play from Grealish to get half a yard, whip it in, but Hegazi just a little eyebrows to glance it behind, but it's going to be another corner. A lot of pressure, but West Brom will defend the corner so well.
El Ghazi will take it, and it's flicked on into the 6-yard area. It's cleared as far as Grealish, who just dabs it wide to the far side again. Horahan will try and win it back, but in the end West Brom will clear. But it's been Villa dominance in the opening 5 minutes of the first period with the extra man. Here it's Horahan now, square towards Mings on the edge of the penalty area, but sliding in was Adebayo, and now Leko has a run down the centre, and he's very quick, but he also handled the ball, and the free kick has been given.
I'll tell you what, if he hadn't handled it, that would have been some race, because he is really, really quick. But it did look like it just bounced up, hit his arm, but that's why he's been brought onto the pitch, to maybe get that chance if the ball drops. And Morrison there, that
Morrison
could be a yellow
fouls Horahan, but the referee allows play to continue. Here is McGinn, square towards Taylor. Horahan now back on his feet. El Ghazi down the left, looking to attack Holgate. Back towards Grealish on the edge of the penalty area. Grealish has not had a shot all night. Grealish again now, wide to the far side, and El Mohammadi. It's back towards Grealish, square towards Hourihane. He can set himself low, left-footed. It's deflected off Adoma in the end, and into the arms of Johnston.
I think the ref will probably go back. He's just having a word with Morrison there, because he left one on Hourihane.
And the goal kick from Johnston all the way down the field to the left-hand side, and Gibbs, who can now try and take on El Mohammadi. Only Leko inside the penalty area, so Gibbs goes himself. Adoma comes back with double coverage, but Villa almost make a mess of the clearance before Mings can come over the halfway line. 96 minutes played. 1-0 West Brom lead, 2-2 on aggregate, but Villa do have the extra player following the red card for Chris Brunt. Grealish now. Grealish onto the right foot. There is a shot from him there, but it's high and wide. And the referee has gone back and he's booked Morrison.
Yeah, it's for that challenge on Hourihane.
He waited a long time.
Yeah, it's the first stoppage in play, but he's having a chat with him and he played on. Hourihane had a chance, didn't he? The goal he scored in the first leg, it was laid across him and he hit it on his left. That one was sort of coming across him more, not laid into him, and it didn't catch his strike clean. And then for Jack Grealish, I was just thinking that when he got on the ball earlier, he's not had a shot on target, he's not really got in those positions, and then that one there wasn't his usual standard, but Villa just dominating possession.
Ghazi now heads it up towards the halfway line, but it's headed back in field by Adoma. Morrison taking a chance there, lunging in to try and win it back from Abraham, but he made contact with the ball this time, and Dawson will knock it long downfield. Leko very much on his own in attack, and it's a difficult job for a young player with very little first team football behind him up against Tuanzebe and Mings. Now El Mohammadi finding Grealish on the far side, back towards Grealish again, midway through the first period of extra time here at the Hawthorns on Talk Sport. 2-2 on aggregate in the Championship playoff semi-final second leg. Leeds against Derby coming up tomorrow. We're live from Ellen Road as Grealish handles the ball midway inside the Albion half, and it will be a free kick. Don't forget, Thursday, Pompey against Sunderland. Pompey trailing 1-0 from the first leg. Commentary on that game on Talk Sport 2, and then on Friday they will also have Charlton against Doncaster as the League One playoffs get sorted out. We already know that Newport will play Tranmere in the League 2 final. That is the Saturday of finals weekend, and all three finals will be live on Talk Sport, with the conclusion of the domestic season, the Championship playoff final, on the bank holiday Monday. Johnson clears long downfield again, the flag's up and it's offside, and that really is a blow for West Brom. They get in position to attack again, another platform, and they give it away.
Yeah, it's a chance to get right up in and around Aston Villa's box, pick up the second ball, but it's so simple. The linesman was saying, you started in an offside position, then you came forward. You should know the rules. You've got plenty of time. It's not like it's a clever movement to play them offside. So, and now Villa will just get the ball and go right back at this West Brom defence, and they're going to have to absorb more pressure. So yeah, very frustrating for Jimmy Sham.
Villa still have 3 more changes they could make, with the extra one here in extra time. And Jonathan Kodja will be coming on shortly, so they are looking for the winning goal here to take away the risk of penalties.
They are, but if Kodja, he's a good penalty taker as well, but he'll believe he could get a goal if he was on the pitch for sure.
Tuanzebe's ball forward, looking for Abraham, deflects away off Harper and into the body of Johnston, and West Brom can clear downfield again. 99 minutes played at the Hawthorns on Talk Sport. West Brom 1, Aston Villa 0, 2-2 on aggregate, and Kodja will be on very shortly. The long goal kick from Johnston, headed away by Tuanzebe, one back though by Adebayo. Harper will chase towards this near side and try and pressurise Mings, but it's out of play, and it will be a goal kick, and Kodja will now come on.
And I was trying to work out who it will be. Sometimes it's obvious it will be
El Ghazi.
Okay. Yeah, he does play out wide sometimes when I've seen him in the starting for Aston
most
Villa.
of the season, really, isn't
Yeah, but I think when he was at Bristol City playing through the middle, and when he was first originally signed for Aston Villa, he was good through the middle. But yeah, a lot of the time I see him playing out wide. He can jink, he can put balls in. I saw him in town the other day. He's a big lad, and I don't say that about a lot of people.
What was he doing?
He was just having a little shop, he wasn't.
Fair enough, yeah. Just got to get clarification.
A little shop, and he was there, but he's a good 6'4".
Did he say, that's Matt Murray over there?
He didn't have a clue who I was. He's a good 6'4".
Here is McGinn now with the ball into the area, just beyond Abraham, and behind for a goal kick, but Villa there with one of few perceptive balls they played into the Albion penalty area, and it almost found Abraham.
We saw a fantastic pass for that went to Kmore Roof for the Derby goal against Derby. That was up there. To see that was Kevin De Bruyne-esque to play that ball round there, splitting the defence with Abraham running between the two defenders. The only thing I don't know with Abraham, I just didn't think he could quite sort his stride pattern. Why he didn't slide or lunge at it. I think if he'd have slid, he might be able to get a contact on him, but brilliant attempt of a ball there from McGinn.
Leko tangling with Mings, and Harper tries to win it back as Albion try to get some sort of possession inside the Villa half, but Mings has robbed Harper, and here is McGinn. 11 minutes played in the first period of extra time. 2-2 on aggregate here on Talk Sport in the first Championship playoff semi-final. Now Grealish back again towards McGinn. Has support from Kodja inside, but McGinn goes further back towards Tuanzebe, and Villa have been fairly conservative with a small C at times when they've tried to work the ball around the Albion penalty area. They've just lacked that killer pass.
Yeah, that killer pass and that ball speed. Just move it quicker. 2 touch, 1 touch. Just keep moving and keep moving, West Brom. And then people will get tired, and that's when you get the little hole. But at the moment, it's been a bit pedestrian. And all in all, West Brom have been able to defend it quite easily.
Now Abraham finding Kodja down the right-hand side of the penalty area. Hagazi thought about going to ground and made the challenge, but Kodja turns back in field. Now he finds El Mohammadi, Hourihane, and Grealish wasn't really set for the pass. It's cleared away by Holgate, but it will come straight back. Tyrone Mings now striding forward, finding Grealish inside the penalty area. The back heel towards Mings, who slips as he takes the shot 1 foot onto the other, and it ripples the side netting.
You did say, is there a little bit of a dew coming? Because there are a lot of players slipping. Grealish slipped when the ball came to him. There, Mings has gone great bit of skill from Grealish to see him play the ball in. Mings in a dangerous position, slips behind the goal. Sam Johnson again is just going to take his time, get his team up the pitch. But, I just wonder why they're slipping. But they haven't tested Sam Johnson in this extra time. They've got in good positions, Aston Villa, but the final ball still isn't there. And I just think they've got to move it quicker or someone have that bit of magic to beat someone.
2 minutes to play in the first period. 1-0 West Brom lead. 2-2 on aggregate. Bartley with a long ball forward, headed away by Mings, and Villa have not really made the extra man pay so far. I know West Brom are very, very deep, but you would have thought there'd be extra space or the extra man for a start.
Well, I thought when Brunt first got sent off, and then Villa had a few chances, a save from Johnson, they got into positions, there was a shot from distance and balls coming in, but yeah, this Jimmy Shan's obviously got into his team, made a couple of changes, got some fresh legs on the pitch. Yeah, and Villa have not, that will really again frustrate Dean Smith. They've not made it count, so they've had a lot of the possession but not hurt them at all. Sam Johnson has not had a save to make in this extra time.
Guy Clark, our producer, tells me that Villa have had 91% possession in extra time.
But how many shots on target in extra time?
Big fat zero.
Big fat zero, there you go.
Cross into the penalty area looking for Abraham. Cleared away as far as Hourihane. And now Tuanzebe, the central defenders now, midway inside the Albion half, but the ball wide to the far side is a poor one. Gibbs will bring it clear. Looks in field and has no support. Leko makes the run ahead of him, so Gibbs tries to ride the challenge and get the throw in, but Grealish ensured the final touch was off Gibbs, and Villa will look to build again with 40 seconds to play. And this is a dangerous game Villa are playing. If they're sitting in as well, waiting to see what happens, they could be caught out and have the regrets for a long, long time.
Oh, definitely. And that's what you don't want. Games like this, no regrets. Go out, give it your all, make things happen. It's like a training drill. It's defence versus attack. Keep probing, keep doing things. The closer you're getting around the boxes when you need those little intricate link-up play.
Hourihane now finding Grealish once again on the edge of the area. Kodja on towards Grealish, driving through, but Hagazi with an excellent challenge, a goal-saving challenge to put the ball behind for a corner.
Oh, what a vital big toe that was to put it behind, and that's what you need, a little wall pass. Thought Grealish was through. Brilliant chance again from Hagazi. Brilliant challenge from him.
into a final minute of added time at the end of the first period. The corner's worked short. Grealish now gets it back from Horahan, dabs it out to the edge of the area. Tuanzebe's shot was blocked. McGinn from long range into the crowd, and it's blocked again by Bartlett.
Yeah, good defending from West Brom. Well worked short corner. It's difficult sometimes when they're down to 10 men now to send two people out. Good pullback, but brilliant blocks. They really have been committed, this West Brom side.
And now El Mohammadi down the line for Adoma on the far side. Back towards El Mohammadi again. A low ball in looking for Kodja. Kodja will try and turn, but Gibbs does well to win it back. And Harper will just dig it out and clear it long downfield. Leko will chase, and he's quick, but I don't think he'll get there. And the whistle is about to blow anyway. And it does. And the situation remains unchanged. The West Brom crowd really get behind their team. 15 minutes away now from a penalty shootout. It remains West Bromwich Albion 1, Aston Villa 0, 2-2 on aggregate. Thank you, Russ. And Villa still have two changes they could make. West Brom have made their 4. Adebayo, Morrison, Leko and Harper all coming on. And of course they are down to 10 men following the red card for their captain Chris Brunt. Kodja and Adoma have come on for Villa, and I suppose if they score, they've got the likes of Howes, Whelan or Jedinak who could come on and maybe shore things up. But at the moment, Villa, since 90 minutes, have not looked like scoring.
They haven't. They said they finished a normal time strongly, but in that first half of extra time, they had all the possession, but it wasn't enough creativity. They didn't move the ball quickly enough, and this is a team that has goals in it. You know, Aston Villa can score goals, as can West Brom, but they haven't really been able to make that extra man count. And West Brom look very, very well organised, and are showing so much commitment and desire as well, and proving a very tough nut to crack.
Now McGinn plays it square towards Grealish, midway inside the West Brom half as the Baggies retreat once again. Grealish looking to attack the penalty area down the right. Harper comes out to him, but Grealish goes beyond him, wriggles into the penalty area and sent the ball behind. It's a goal kick.
Yeah, good play from Harper. I thought for a second that Grealish was past him, but he just did enough on him, and he thought maybe he was going to pull him back, but he didn't. He just shepherded him out of play, and Grealish has been getting on the ball, trying to make things happen, but he hasn't got into a goal scoring position really. Looked like he might do at the end, but a brilliant challenge from El Ghazi, and players like El Ghazi, Bartley have been right up there, Gibbs, Dawson, that whole back five, if you like, of West Brom has been brilliant, and all the subs that have come on as well, they've played their part, and they are looking very, very resolute at the moment.
16 minutes played in the extra time here on Talk Sport. 1-0 on the night to West Brom, 2-2 on aggregate. El Mohammadi with the long ball forward, looking for Kodja, chested down by Bartley, almost given away to El Mohammadi, and in the end El Mohammadi is challenged by Adebayo, and the free kick has been given to West Brom, and they've just got the opportunity to get the ball out and give themselves a breather.
Yeah, every time it goes dead, and quite rightly so. You know, there's so much stakes on it. They're down to 10 men. Every time that it goes dead, they get everybody up the pitch, they get to an area, and Sam Johnson kicks the ball to an area. They try and pick up the second balls and keep that ball as far away from their goal as they can, and of course they're going to play for either a set play, a little mistake, or probably more often, more likely they're going to be playing for penalties.
Leko believes he was fouled there by Tuanzebe. There was an arm on the shoulder as they fought under a high ball, but nothing given. And now Mings plays a long ball forward for Villa again. It's flicked on by McGinn, looking for Kodja inside the area, but it's guided back to his goalkeeper by Gibbs. Johnston clears downfield, but Grealish is there to cushion a volley into the path of El Mohammadi. Here is Tuanzebe now, finding Mings, and West Brom working hard to try and keep the ball away from their penalty area. That's the best they can do at the moment with 12 minutes to play. Leko shuttling between the two central defenders. There is nobody else within 20 yards of him in a blue and white striped shirt. Now Horahan with a back heel to try and release Grealish. Moving forward now, looking for the option to the right. There was nobody there, so he plays the high cross in, looking for Kodja. Headed away by Dawson. Gibbs rises, then Morrison to head clear. Leko now will try and spin and turn away from Tuanzebe, and again he goes down, and again the referee says get up.
Yeah, he wanted to pull on his arm, but what he's trying to do is press from the front and show Aston Villa one way to stop this switch, because that's making the West Brom players have to run a long way. But there he felt that he got his body in the way, he felt his foul, but again Kavanagh's right on the spot, waved it away. So there's going to be more pressing, more chasing, more sliding and screening, if you like, for this West Brom team.
4 minutes played in the second period. Kodja on the edge of the penalty area, can't beat Hegazi. Now El Mohammadi, square towards Grealish, right foot shot from Grealish, straight at Johnston.
Yeah, they'll take that, West Brom. They're sliding, they're screening, and if they are going to shoot, then it's got to be an absolute thunderbolt to beat their goalkeeper from there. So that's just over 20 yards, straight down his throat, easy catch for him, and then again, they'll line them up one way, take his time, and kick the ball as far as he can, but decent strike from Grealish, but very comfortable for a keeper of Sam Johnson's quality. And people are like getting away there. Sometimes as a goalkeeper, I didn't do it on purpose, but I did it a lot. You kick for touch, because what happens is that allows West Brom then to just waste that little bit more time, and it's something that goalkeepers definitely do on purpose.
10 minutes away from penalties here on Talk Sport. 2-2 on aggregate. The sports bar will come up when we have a winner here at the Hawthorns. McGinn forward towards the edge of the penalty area, and Abraham looking to turn, and he's turned away from one but not the second. Hegazi tries to clear, but it's back towards Abraham. Right foot shot from him. It was travelling but too high. Yeah,
always just rising, but again, good defence from West Brom. Bodies coming out to him. Abraham, who hasn't had much service for, I've got to try and take the ball by the horns. I've got to make something happen. But again, it's a strike from outside the box. People coming out at him, and he couldn't quite get over it. So there's plenty of power in it, but always rising into those Aston Villa fans.
And Sam Johnston taking his time here. And he's just been urged by the referee to get on with things as he clears long downfield, right-footed once again. It's flicked on towards Leko. Leko will chase, but Twanzebe plays it back to his goalkeeper. Steer now clears long downfield. Albion have barely had anything approaching a shot since the red card for Chris Brunt late in normal time. 9.5 minutes to play on Talk Sport. 1-0, they lead. 2-2 on aggregate, and both teams now look absolutely shattered. But of course Villa have the extra player. Grealish now finding El Mohammadi, back towards Grealish again. Abraham was looking for the early delivery, but Grealish will take on his man Adebayo and find El Mohammadi. The cross swung into the far post. It's played back in by McGinn, and Bartley is there to sweep it away.
What a cross. El Mohammadi's got every right to say, how is nobody on the end of that? Absolutely fantastic ball. Horrible for a goalkeeper, he can't come for it. Defenders going towards their own goal, but nobody from Aston Villa was sliding in. That was an unbelievable ball, but again Aston Villa didn't make it count.
Keenan Davis will be coming on shortly for Aston Villa. More pace, more attacking intent. He's been used mainly as a sub for much of the season, and that will be his role in the game here. As El Mohammadi plays it in field towards Grealish once again. Grealish will go beyond Morrison and find El Mohammadi back towards Grealish, who's looking to get that one chance, and he's found El Mohammadi, who slides it back into the penalty area. It hits Morrison, it comes back out towards Grealish. Grealish will shift to his right and then go back to the left to try and find the opening, and he's found McGinn with a left-footed cross. Adoma with the header across the face of goal, but there was no pace at all behind the header, and Johnston was able to gather.
Yeah, good play again from Aston Villa, probing, looking for it, and the ball from McGinn, it was floated in, but it's so difficult for Adoma because he can't generate any power, so maybe he could have headed it down into a better area, but he just loops it up. So again, comfortable take for Sam Johnston, but you have to credit West Brom, you really, really do, because as much as Villa are probing, they just can't find a gap, they can't find any space, and that's everybody to a man, sticking to the job, working hard, and it's good coaching as well.
And this is a team which has been pretty flaky defensively for much of the season.
Yeah, if they'd defended like this throughout the season, they probably wouldn't be in the playoffs, because this is really, really good defensive work.
El Mohammadi coming off, Davis coming on.
Yeah, so Davis again is a young laddie from non-league that Aston Villa found. He burst on the scene, had a few injuries, you say, then just been coming on and on, as a substitute role. But can he be a hero? Can he be a hero? He's got 7 minutes per stoppage to come on. These are the sort of things players dream about, coming on and scoring that big goal. But he's a physical presence, so those balls coming in, he's got to attack it. I mean, look at that front three now for Aston Villa. Very, very big, powerful players.
And here is Grealish on halfway. 6.5 minutes to play on Talk Sport, the home of the EFL playoffs. It is 2-2 on aggregate. West Brom leading by 1-0 on the night, but down to 10 men. Here is Mings. Wide to the far side and Taylor. Villa continue to press, but with no real conviction. Now Davis takes over. Back towards Taylor again. Hourihane is in support, but now McGinn takes over, and Albion are so deep here, they're all lined up on the edge of their own penalty area. Grealish now looking to drive forward into the crowd. He's found Davis. Davis turns and finds Taylor down the left-hand side, and he pulls it back towards Davis, who is challenged by Morrison. Now Mings taking over on the edge of the penalty area, stands up the cross, and Hegazi rises to head the ball away.
How many times have we said that about Hegazi, heading the ball away? But again, good defending, the right people coming out, pressing, going back into the slots, no space for anybody to run in behind, defending that box, as you say, right on their 18-yard line. Brilliant from West Brom.
Adoma now down this near side, the right, curls in the cross yet again, and it's flicked on by Abraham, but some way wide.
Yeah, and it's a cross coming in. Adoma, Aston Villa did that a lot, especially last season when they had Snodgrass on the one side, Adoma on the other. Those, in-swinging crosses, but good defending players, the defensive players up against these Aston Villa strikers, and all they can do is glance the ball behind again. And it really is, I just don't know where this defense, why have they not defended like this all season? They have been so good, desire, organisation, and that's why these West Brom fans now are really trying to cheer their side through and showing the appreciation. Everyone loves skill in that, but they also like to see this side, this desire and that commitment.
A real collective effort now for the Baggies on and off the field. 5 minutes to play. Hegazi just lumps it forward. That's handball, surely by Tuanzebe. Well, the referee says it wasn't deliberate, but his hand was a long way from his body, and it was midway inside the Villa half.
And it gave an advantage. That's what it is. Whether it's deliberate or not, it gave a big advantage, because otherwise Lecco might have been through. So heart in mouth moment there for Tuanzebe. Not, the free kick wasn't given though.
Hourihane though, wide towards Adoma now for Villa. 4 minutes to play on Talk Sport. 4 minutes away from a penalty shootout. Here is Grealish looking to attack the penalty area, finding Abraham. Abraham, though, can't find Grealish, but Tuanzebe takes over. Here is Hourihane again, and now Grealish again on the edge of the penalty area, beyond the challenge of Lecco. He plays it in field, appeals for handball at the other end, inside the area, and again the referee says no.
Yeah,
he couldn't give that after not giving that.
Well, certainly not after giving that, but he's in a very good position. He was right in the spot, he was adamant, he waved it away. But what Aston Villa are doing is that sometimes they're so pushed on that they've got to concentrate, because it could just take one monumental effort from West Brom to go, do you know what, let's counter and break, and could catch them out. But I think it would have been a very harsh penalty, especially as you're saying, after not giving their Tuanzebe handball.
3.5 minutes to play. Now Mings bursting into the penalty area down the right, but his cross will be cleared away by Adebayo up to the halfway line, but there was nobody there at all in a blue and white shirt. Now McGinn down the right hand side, Gibbs with a challenge. McGinn goes to ground, then gets back, and McGinn with a cross high to the far post. The downward header though is into the body of Sam Johnston,
and I think they got in each other's way a bit there, Abraham and Davis. Brilliant play from McGinn, great tenacity to get the ball. Picks out the two players at the back post, and say it wasn't a great connection. He heads it down, which is right, but not with enough power, and a comfortable save in the end for Sam Johnson. But that might be that last real chance that they're going to get.
3 minutes to play on Talk Sport at the Hawthorns in the playoffs. The Albion crowd again once again turn up the volume. Johnston clears long downfield, headed out to play by Taylor on the far side, and Albion will have a throw in. And right at the end, do they go for it, try and get that one chance?
I think they can't risk it. I think that if they can, the ball get knocked out or whatever, and then they can all burst, then maybe. But all in all, I think they've got to stick to this game plan. It's working. They've been very organised, and that's what they've played for. It's clear, and it's working.
Steer with a clearance on this near side, finding El Mohammadi, who is now sort of the right back. They basically stopped defending Villa because they don't have to. Here is McGinn now, plays it in field to find Grealish. Under 2 minutes to play. Grealish comes in field towards the edge of the area, and Davis, who tries to shoot. The shot was deflected, and it's not too far away beyond the far post. Mings is down inside the area, and it will be a corner kick.
Yeah, so it looks like a painful collision there in the box. I'm not sure exactly what happened because I saw the shot come off, took a deflection, could have dropped anywhere. It's just gone behind, so I'm not sure what happened, but Mings looks in a lot of pain, and so does, I think Dawson's going to be, the ref saying Dawson's okay, but Mings looks in pain. There's going to be another ball delivered into that West Brom box. They've been so good at winning all the first contacts, but even there, that deflection, I thought it was going to drop to a Villa player at the back post. But I tell you, do you know who the calmest players will be? The players. The fans the calmest people in the stadium will be the players. The fans are nervous, the coaching staff will be nervous, the tension, but when you're actually out there, at least you can affect something and be part of it.
We are inside the 120th minute here. Villa with a corner on this near side. Hourihane will take it. If they score now, they're going to Wembley. Hourihane's low delivery into the near post, and it's hacked away by Adebayo, and it will be a throw in to Aston Villa, and there will be at least 1 minute's added time at the end of extra time. Here is Adoma. Albion now just camped out on the edge of their own penalty area. McGinn swings it wide to this near side, appeals for handball against Hourihane. It's back towards Grealish. Grealish comes in field. Leko, the player, trying to keep up with him, but Grealish is a strong runner, and he's still going right at the end. Now Davis, wide to the far side, the left, and Grealish takes over once again, and Grealish is challenged on the far side by Harper, and it will be a corner, and there are 2 minutes of added time at the end of this game.
This could be the last chance, but they've got to miss the first man. The last set piece was really poor.
Grealish with the corner into such a congested penalty area, and it's Morrison who leaps to clear at the near post. Now McGinn once again, wide towards Grealish on the far side, and now Taylor in space inside the penalty area. His low cross is blocked by Holgate. It's another corner, and Villa here pressing hard for the winner.
Yeah, they're really, really pushing, but West Brom again, a first contact on it. Balls whipped into dangerous areas. Jimmy Sham will be so proud of his West Brom team.
Corner on the far side for Grealish again. Deeper this time, looking for Codger at the far post. Nodded away by Holgate. McGinn strikes it, and he never got hold of that. It bobbles 35 yards wide.
Yeah, he got that well wrong, and he scored some spectacular goals in an Aston Villa shirt. But that ball coming in again, whenever you're doing defensive set pieces, you're always saying get the first contact, and West Brom have done that time after time after time. Balls coming in, all different varieties, and they've deserved to take this to penalties, because it was a big blow when they lost their captain, but that's about a team. As you say, it was a collective. The fans again driving their team home, and once it gets to penalties, then it is a lottery. But West Brom defensively have been absolutely brilliant.
Mile Jedinak is coming on for McGinn. Of course, Jedinak scored the penalties which took Australia to the World Cup.
Yeah, definitely a big decision there, and that's why he's getting brought on, and he'll be fancying one. So Jedinak, he's taken pressure penalties in his career.
Yeah, it's Tuanzebe who's hobbling off towards this near side. Yeah. And we have 10 seconds left of extra time.
Yeah, so that, Dean Smith will be happy to get Jedinak on the pitch, and you'd imagine Tuanzebe would have been lower down the list taking one. So and they'll hope though if they do get to Wembley he's fine, and it's just a kick.
Long clearance downfield from Johnston, and that is that. It will be a penalty shootout to decide who heads to Wembley. West Bromwich Albion played it out extremely well with 10 men. Aston Villa could not break them down. It is finished. West Bromwich Albion 1, Aston Villa 0, 2-2 on aggregate. The only way to sort this one out is from 12 yards. Thank you, Russ. And Villa appear to have won the toss, because the penalties will be taken at the end of the ground away to our right, which has their supporters behind it. In the League 2 semi-final, which went to penalties on Sunday, Newport won the toss. They took the penalties at their end, and they scored all 5. Mason Holgate will take the first penalty for West Bromwich Albion, on loan from Everton. And big responsibility for a young player, penalty number 1.
It is big responsibility, and you always want to score the first penalty when you're taking them. As a keeper, you want to save them and give your team that real advantage, because it can be such a blow. But I always believe you should make your best penalty taker go first. So
he's off though, isn't he?
Yeah, but then there should be another struggle. But maybe Holgate is the one that have done it in training, but big penalty for him.
Mason Holgate with penalty number 1 in the shootout for West Brom. Right-footed save by Steer. A nice height for the goalkeeper, who plunged away to his left, and it's advantage Aston Villa.
Yeah, good. It's a comfortable height for Jed Steer, and he didn't look that confident. It's quite a short run up there from Holgate, and he's just opened his body up. It was a nice height for him. And now Horahan, who hasn't struck the ball with the usual quality in this game, has got a massive chance to give his team a very, very early advantage. And but a good save from Jed Steer, but Holgate, they've gone to control, and poor penalty though.
Conor Horahan with the chance to consolidate the advantage for Aston Villa, and he does. Low to the goalkeeper's right-hand side. Johnston had gone the other way, and it's 1-0 to Aston Villa.
Yeah, so a left footer that's gone across himself. Quite often they say left footers like to open their body up, but that's the advantage Aston Villa, as you say. Johnson went early, went flying towards the other corner, and now another defender going to be taking a penalty for West Brom.
Ahmed Hegazi, the Egyptian international, will take the penalty here. And Jed Steer with an opportunity to give Aston Villa 1 foot in the final, even at this stage. He jiggles about on his line as El Ghazi steps up, and it's saved again! A second save for Jed Steer, and Aston Villa get their first sight of Wembley.
Wow, what a save, what a moment. And Jedinak, who's come on as sub, has got a massive chance, but Jed Steer, I tell you what, you are turning yourself into an absolute hero here for Aston Villa. He does one to his left, a nice height, but that's not a bad penalty. That is a top draw save from Jed Steer. He had a couple of nervy moments in the game, but all in all, since he's come into the Aston Villa side, he's been brilliant. Diving to his right there, strong hand, brilliant save, Jed Steer.
Mile Jedinak is the penalty taker for Australia. Up against Sam Johnston. Jedinak right-footed, no mistake at all. Johnston goes the wrong way again, and Aston Villa lead 2-0 after 2 rounds in the penalty shootout.
Yeah, calm as you like there, and Jedinak, you say, he's taken a lot of pressure penalties in his career. The players that have been coming forward for West Brom are much more experienced, and they're more offensive players. You know, players that you'd say set-piece specialists, and players you'd do it, but really calm penalty there from Jedinak. Good substitution. He's only been on the pitch 15 seconds and tucked it away.
And now Adebayo, it's almost sudden death already. If they don't score and Villa do score, that's it. And all the youngsters and all the defenders are taking the penalties for West Bromwich Albion. Adebayo, short run up, right-footed, scores. And that will be some relief to him.
Yeah, very calm, but again, he's a defensive player coming on, and a very young man, so taking a pressure penalty in such a big game, but a very calm man on loan from Manchester City. He sends Jed Steer the wrong way, but Jack Grealish, he's been such a hero for this team. He'll believe that he can really put his 1 foot in the final now for his team. Jed Steer's been a hero, making those saves, but Jack Grealish now, Sam Johnson for me has to save this penalty.
Well, Albion can only score 3 penalties in the shootout. Villa looking to make it 3 out of 3 here. It is Jack Grealish, the Villa captain, up against Sam Johnston. Grealish, long run up, right-footed shot, no mistake at all. Johnston goes the wrong way again, and Aston Villa are 1 penalty save away from Wembley.
Yeah, good penalty there from Jack Grealish. It was, a bit of a dancey sort of run up. He wasn't sure which way he was going to go, and then he looked like he waited for the keeper's body weight to go one way, and he just whipped it the other. And that there really now is just puts all the pressure onto Kieran Gibbs to take this penalty, and Jed Steer will be just a little bit of gamesmanship there, just having a little walk up to him, trying to delay him with that ball on the spot, but a massive moment now.
Kieran Gibbs has to score, or Aston Villa are heading to Wembley. Gibbs, left-footed, does score. Very confident penalty, low to the goalkeeper's right, but now Villa have their big moment.
Yeah, they have a massive moment, so a vital penalty there for Gibbs, as you say. But Albert Adoma, he's been a good servant for Aston Villa. Had a fantastic chance in the game, which was denied brilliant by Johnson. But this is, as you say, what a moment for Villa.
Albert Adoma can send Aston Villa to Wembley. Right-footed, over the top, a terrible penalty, and West Bromwich Albion are still alive.
Yeah, they live to fight a few more, another penalty or so. So James Morrison's going to come up, but for Adoma there, he was just leaning back, and he's gone over. Oh wow, what a moment there. But he's gone high. That's his thing. At least make the keeper save it. But Morrison now, the pressure's on him. He has to score.
Morrison has to score here to keep West Bromwich Albion alive. Right-footed, he does score. Comprehensive penalty beyond steer, and now Tammy Abraham, who scored the penalty in the first leg, can win it for Villa.
Yeah, listen to these boos, but what a pressure penalty there from Morrison, and he absolutely, because Jed Steer sort of, as a goalkeeper sometimes you think it's a pressure penalty, someone's going to go for power. Steer sort of waited for that one, but the power just whipped past him. Now it'll be interesting. Will Adoma go the same way that he went at Villa Park when he rolled
to the right?
Yeah, low to the right. Keeper's left, low to his right, and rolled it in the corner. Be very interesting. If I was Sam Johnson now, I'd go that way again.
Tammy Abraham, Villa are one kick away from Wembley. Abraham, right-footed, sends Aston Villa to Wembley. Their Premier League dream is still alive, but West Bromwich Albion's hopes of an instant return are now over. Such a contrast in emotions. Albion absolutely devastated, but Villa delirious. They are heading to Wembley.
Yeah, what scenes, and it's harsh on West Brom because they've given everything. And I thought, he'd go that way, Abraham, because that was obviously his pressure penalty, but calm, he strokes it into that corner again. Massive moment there. Look, Aston Villa, they were brilliant to come back in the first leg, but then he thought West Brom had done enough. You feel for the people who missed. Credit Dean Smith and his coaching staff, because they've gone and shaken the hands of all these West Brom players and the staff, showing real class. But it's West Brom that, given their all but weren't quite there, and that brunt moment was so big. But it's Aston Villa celebrating, and they're through to that final at Wembley.
Well, after the disappointment of losing to Fulham in the playoff final 12 months ago, Aston Villa will go back for another go after a night of real drama here at the Hawthorns. 2-2 on aggregate after two draining semi-final legs. But it's Aston Villa who held their nerve. They are heading to the Championship playoff final. 4-3 on penalties.